This is our main character. He got so bored he climbed into a coffin and slept for a solid 360 years. He only woke up when the system announced that his 3,636 disciple had finally broken through to the Saint Realm. Just as he was about to punish he took them all down with just a few moves. Turns out, he's the legendary Supreme Demon Emperor who threw the entire cultivation world into chaos 1,000 years ago. He has thousands of disciples, all of whom are top-tier masters in the immortal realm. Alright, enough rambling. Let's get started. The previous chapter is done, and the admin has brought you the next part. Enjoy the show. Under the light of the full moon, an ancient, sprawling complex of buildings. Majestic, hidden away from the world, nestled amidst a magnificent, untamed landscape, it materializes from the mist. Atop a grand pedestal sits the meticulously carved effigy of a colossal golden dragon. A mystical light focuses on an object at its center. The system chimes with a constant stream of notifications. System reminder: the host's final disciple has successfully broken through to the Saint Realm. System reminder: the exclusive Wayu system has been activated. The red-haired man lying inside is our hero. A powerful and intimidating aura surrounds him. After a long time, his eyes slowly flutter open. A hint of surprise flickers in his gaze. The man looks down at his own hand. A hand of flesh and blood. He's stunned. I'm alive again? I've been dead for 300 years. And now I'm back. Then, his expression shifts to fury. He slams his hand against the side of the coffin. Damn you, system. You sure know how to play games, don't you? A flood of memories rushes back, recalling everything that happened. I was originally a transmigrator from another world. After surviving countless trials and tribulations, I finally activated the initial system and found my path to becoming an emperor. I took on female disciples. Master, he can still remember that exhilarating feeling. That pure joy and a satisfied smile spreads across his face. The system reminded me that once I had 108 disciples, and each of them had fully comprehended a great Tao, I would be able to seize the perfect opportunity to defy the heavens and change my fate. Unfortunately, things didn't go the way he had hoped. Life dealt him a crushing blow. By the time I was old and frail, I still hadn't seen the day I could change my fate. All because I took on way too many disciples. System reminder: because a disciple has broken through to the Saint Realm, their great Tao is now complete. The host's latent potential will, in 3 minutes, defy the heavens and alter his fate. A faint smile appears on his lips. To think that after 300 years, I'd finally lived to see this day. It's only then that he notices his surroundings. Wait, am I in a coffin? His voice drips with irritation as he asks. That's right. System, can you tell me if that disciple just now broke through to the Saint Realm? I need to see which one of my idiot disciples took nearly 300 years to reach the Saint Realm. But to his surprise, information cannot be disclosed. He's completely dumbfounded. The system protects my disciple's privacy? He raises a hand to his chin, lost in thought, before asking another question. Fine, then tell me this. When did the disciple, who was second to last to break through to the Saint Realm, achieve it? The system replies instantly. 230 years ago. He can't help but curse under his breath. Doesn't that mean, if this last disciple had just become a saint a little sooner, I would have been revived much earlier? But before long, a new notification appears, beginning the process of defying the heavens and altering fate. The coffin begins to glow with a shimmering jade green light. An enraged roar echoes from within. You rebellious disciple, just wait until your master is done changing his fate. I'm coming for you, and I'll make you feel the love you're 300 years late to receive. A bolt of lightning suddenly rips through the sky, striking down at this very spot. But it's blocked by a protective barrier. The one who cast the spell is a gray-haired old man. The person next to him exclaims in admiration. Incredible, elderly, as expected of a late-stage half-saint. The others in the tomb were in an uproar. They rushed forward in excitement. Let's go. Hurry, let's go check it out. The massive doors slowly creaked open. Pale moonlight crept into the chamber. Filled with anticipation, the young men stepped inside one by one. The interior architecture was dominated by a golden dragon. Every single scale was exquisitely carved. The dragon's head was rendered in stunning detail and was incredibly lifelike. Its most striking feature was its fiery eyes, with a crimson gold orb held in its mouth. In the center of the room sat a coffin, glowing with a mysterious blue light. A red coffin with impressive gold patterns came into view. One of the men saw it, and his expression turned grim. Damn it, it's chinkoan wood. A huge piece of chinkoan wood. Someone observed aloud. That's the finest material for forging and preserving spirit treasures and top-tier magical artifacts. This is just an insane luxury. The moment he finished speaking, two men shot forward like lightning, closing in on the coffin. The man's eyes widened in amazement. One of them exclaimed in shock. All the spiritual energy in here is coming from this coffin. Doesn't that mean what's inside is? The other man's eyes gleamed with greed. A treasure. A voice called from behind them. It was elderly. Let me open it. He channeled his spiritual energy, focusing all his strength to open the coffin. Open. For me. The moment he touched it, the coffin erupted in a brilliant red light. Then, the coffin lid slowly began to slide open, revealing its contents to everyone's eager eyes. They cried out in shock. What is this? A young man broke out in a cold sweat. Is this person really dead? Why do I feel such a powerful life force coming from him? Another man scoffed. He's definitely dead. They say the demon's sovereign died of old age and sickness. Looking at the man's eerily lifelike face, they all came to a conclusion. Someone must have placed a supreme treasure in his mouth. That's the only way his body could be preserved with such spiritual energy. His eyes remained shut tight. He was as motionless as a corpse. Elderly reached out his hand. I just have to take it. Just then, the man's lips slowly twitched. He opened his eyes, to everyone's utter astonishment. As the Tomb Raiders worked, a sudden flash of light made them cry out in shock. The corpse is alive. Slender fingers gripped the edge of the coffin as the Sovereign's voice echoed in the chamber. Tomb Raiders, are we? You got some nerve. Everyone there was stunned by his sudden appearance. Who are you? Why are you in here? At this ignorant question, the demon's sovereign chuckled softly and replied, This tomb was built for me. So who do you think I am? Completely floored, they asked again. You're the demon's sovereign. Impossible. The demon's sovereign died 300 years ago. Besides, how could the demon's sovereign look like a teenager? Even Elder Lee couldn't believe it. There's no way it's him. Since his cultivation level, all of you. He's just some brat at the spirit condensation realm. Someone else chimed in. That's right. And it looks like he only just broke through at that. Hearing their chatter, the man simply smirked to himself. None of them believed him for a second. Just then, one of the men drew his sword and pointed it at the man's face. Enough with the act. Talk. Why are you in here? Where's the supreme treasure? Not talking, huh? Then don't blame me for being rude. The man stood perfectly still, a smirk playing on his lips. You don't know your place. The attacker let out a fierce yell and charged. Goodbye, little brat. But in that instant, the entire group was left utterly speechless. The Sovereign had effortlessly stopped the blade with just 2 fingers, leaving the attacker frozen in shock. How is that possible? I just put everything I had into that strike. How did he? His slender hands grip the sword. He's about to speak. He tries to pull it back. Too late. After shattering the sword, he seizes the advantage and attacks. He grabs the grave robber by the neck and lifts him into the air. Some divine court realm trash, in such a hurry to die. You must have had it too easy for too long. Got a death wish, huh? The rest of the group freezes, watching the scene unfold. The grave robber, unable to bear it, screams at his men. What are you all staring at? Do something. Get him. Another one, foolishly overestimating his own strength, rushes toward him with a saber. Let him go. The demon emperor scoffs. Who gave you permission to raise your voice in front of me? He clenches his fist, and a flash of green light appears. The grave robber vanishes without a trace. The man with the saber stares, his eyes wide with disbelief. He did that with a single casual strike. He just instantly killed a late-stage divine court realm expert. But by then, Yibai was already behind him. He reaches out a hand. At a time like this, you still let yourself get distracted? It seems. You've got a death wish, too. He grabs the man's head and, with a sharp twist, tears it from his body. One of the remaining men exclaims, Wait, wasn't that guy a late-stage divine court realm expert? And he just killed him with a single casual strike. Another man breaks out in a cold sweat, terrified. Just how powerful is he? In his hand, he holds the grave robber's head. Now, it's your turn. After seeing Yi Bai easily take 2 lives in a matter of seconds, the bald man asks hurriedly, "Elderly, what do we do now?" But when he glances over, he sees the old man has already retreated some distance. Then, he hears Elderly shout, "What are you standing around for? Run. Compared to your lives, the treasure isn't worth a damn. Staying alive is what matters." As he warns the others, the old man carefully observes his opponent, thinking to himself, "He doesn't look like he plans to hunt us down." But just as Elderly has that thought, he senses extreme danger. He sees Yi Bai clasp his hands together. Rich streams of spirit energy swirl around him. They form a hemisphere that suddenly expands. In an instant, the energy dome erupts outward like a flock of birds bursting from a cage. Unable to outrun the ring of spirit energy, Elderly is struck and sent flying with a scream. Yi Bai's spirit energy envelopes the entire chamber. A massive formation array suddenly appears. Seeing this, Elderly cries out in shock. A formation array? Why is there a formation array here? He can't stop asking himself. There was nothing here when we came in. Could it be him? If so, just how powerful is he? A half-saint? A saint? Or something even higher? Could he really be the supreme demon emperor? Yi Bai calmly walks toward the old man. The crackling lightning that surrounds him makes him look even more terrifying. He lets out a low, menacing chuckle. Trying to run? Seeing Elder Li's miserable state, the 2 remaining men hastily cry out their surrender. One of them quickly tries to shift all the blame. "My lord, spare me. I was just hired to help them. I never meant to offend you or trespass here." The other quickly chimes in. "Yeah, we were just doing a job. It was all that man's idea." The man has barely finished speaking when a ball of green fire descends upon him. Not only the man who tried to pass the buck, but the bald one as well, are instantly engulfed by the strange flames. Witnessing this barbaric scene, Elder Li's skin crawls. His face is a mask of sheer terror as he thinks. He's terrifying. He's not human. He's a demon. A demon. As he watches Yi Bai walk toward him, Elderly scrambles to his knees, begging, "My lord, spare my life. I'll never do it again. I'll give you everything I have. Please, my lord, don't kill me." Yi Bai's face was a mask of cold indifference. He asked in a commanding voice, "Tell me, the one who built this tomb, where is he now?" Elderly didn't dare to breathe. His entire being was wound tight with terror. He answered with the utmost reverence, "My lord, I truly don't know which great master built this tomb." His question unanswered, Yi Bai's expression darkened as he stared at the old man. "Then what use are you to me?" Hearing this, Elder Li's terror intensified. He hurriedly looked up, desperate to prove his worth. "Wait, my lord, while I may not know, if you contact the Brocade Guard Shadow Division in the inner city of Yunfan, they will definitely know." At this, Yi Bai's brow furrowed, a flicker of emotion in his eyes as he pressed him. "Say that again. Who do I find?" Elderly didn't dare hesitate, spilling everything he knew. The Brocade Guard's Shadow Division. It's an intelligence organization founded by a mysterious figure 200 years ago. As long as you can pay their price, you can get any information from them. They're incredibly powerful. You could say their reach covers the entire Central Plains. An image surfaced in his mind. Yi Bai's expression grew pensive, a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. The Brocade Guard's Shadow Division. For an intelligence network to grow this large. That reckless old 8th Zhao. He must have had his work cut out for him. Seeing that his mood seemed to have improved, Elderly quickly forced a fawning smile. "My lord, what you want to know? They will certainly know. I am willing to lead you to them. Please, just spare my worthless life." Before he could finish, he froze. All strength suddenly drained from his body. A moment later, to his own shock, one of his cheeks dissolved into sand. In less than 3 seconds, he had completely turned to dust, forever a part of this place. Yi Bai glanced at the clothes left behind and spoke with profound meaning. "In your next life, don't be so greedy." Meanwhile, at a large estate, within Yunfan City, send a message to the Brocade Guard's Shadow Division. Inform Lai Yushan. Tell her the old man is furious, and to get here immediately. Also, tell all members of the Chun family to prepare. Assemble the 36 highest-ranking Chun spellmasters in the Central Plains. Chu Kefu frowned. This time, I will let the entire world know that whoever dares to rob my master's tomb will be punished no matter how far they run. Her subordinates bowed respectfully. Yes, ma'am, she shouted, her voice stern. Prepare to depart at once. Master, rest assured, I, Chukafu, will risk everything, and I will find the ancient immortal secret formation that can bring you back to life. At that same moment, Yubei had already walked to the outskirts of Yunfan City. The streets were as bustling as ever. Rice crackers, instant noodles, protective gear, 21 for a set. Welcome, sir. Something for the ladies. Fortunes told. Read your past and future lives. He peered into the city for a moment, an observation on his lips. Yunfan City is even livelier than it used to be. Then his stomach rumbled. The sound made Yubei's face fall. He sighed. I haven't eaten in hundreds of years. I'm starving. With that, he started into the city. Gotta fill my stomach first, then I'll get down to business. Yubei grabbed a random person, handed him 2 coins, and asked a question. Seeing the money, the man's face instantly lit up. Young master, in this city of yours, what's the best place to eat? Seeing a customer, the young man beamed and gushed. Sir, are you kidding? Of course, it's the one with the golden sign, run by the master chef herself. The 2 Lotus Tavern. Yubei looked in the direction he pointed. He raises an eyebrow, muttering to himself. Haixalo. He hadn't been paying attention, but one look left him completely stunned. The staff at Haixalo called out loudly. Line up. Line up. Everyone, please take a number. Yubei stared at the familiar names, his heart stirring. He muttered in confusion. Haixalo and Donald S. Don't tell me. I've transmigrated back to Earth. Seeing his confusion, a young man nearby began to boastfully explain. This Yunfan City is incredibly prosperous now. It's all thanks to the efforts of our great lady chef. It's just a shame she's already reached the saint realm. She rarely meddles in worldly affairs anymore. I hear her beauty is enough to topple kingdoms and bring cities to ruin. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to witness such beauty in this lifetime. Sir, anyway, enough chit-chat. How about you buy one of our newest products? We got big ones and small ones. Whatever you need, he said, setting up his display table. Yubei didn't hear a word of it. Lost in thought, he searched through his memories. Among my disciples who were skilled in cooking, it must be the 40th one, Pan Xiaotong. Could these be her disciples? As her master, I have to see for myself. Just how you've been guiding my grand disciples. He coolly turned and walked away, ignoring the desperate pleas of the young weapons vendor. Sir, don't go. Sir, I can give you a discount. He headed straight for the restaurant called Haixalo to check it out. A moment later, Yubei scanned the menu with a serious expression and muttered to himself. The food here, aside from the Buddha, jumps over the wall, is utterly unremarkable. Just as the thought crossed his mind, he heard another customer place an order. The usual, bring me an order of the demon beast. Jumps over the wall. The waiter replied with a smile. Right away. Young Master Pan, please wait a moment. With a woman on each arm, he announced grandly. Today, I shall treat you 2 beauties to the most famous dish in all of Yunfan City. Demon beast jumps over the wall. This dish is worth a staggering 10,000 gold coins. In this entire city, aside from myself, no one else can afford to spend like this. The 2 beautiful women played along, lavishing him with praise. Young Master Pan, you truly are the favored son of the Qiyong sect. Your generosity is on another level. It's true. For me to be with you today, young Master Pan, is truly my good fortune. Seeing how popular the dish was, he decided to order one for himself. I'll also have an order of the Buddha. Jumps over the wall. The waiter answered respectfully. Yes, sir. Our policy is payment before service. We be paying with spirit stones or gold coins. Before the waiter could even finish his sentence, Yubei tossed 5 green stones onto the table. Then he added casually, keep the change. The waiter's eyes practically lit up like diamonds. My God, they're spirit stones. His attitude became even more reverent. Yes, honored guest. Please wait just a moment. Hearing this, some of the gossips in the restaurant immediately started whispering amongst themselves. Did you see that? Young Master Pan just ordered the demon beast. Jumps over the wall. And this guy ordered one too. And he's even more extravagant than young Master Pan. He just casually threw down 5 spirit stones. Who in the world is this kid? When Hong narrowed his eyes, glaring daggers at eBay. You could tell he was about to start something. A short while later, the waiter brought the dish over, announcing, "Young Master Pan, your demon beast jumps over the wall. Please enjoy." He put on a superior air and asked, "Well, not only is the aroma intoxicating, but eating it can even advance your cultivation." The dark-haired beauty, practically drooling, cooed flirtatiously, "It smells so divine. I can hardly stand it anymore." When Hong smiled, pleased, "Here, my beauty, let me feed you myself." The blonde beauty pouted, wanting her turn. "Young master, I want some too." After feeding them, he asked, "Well, how does it taste?" A flavor like this is something only a man of my status can truly appreciate. Yibei's dish arrived, and he thought to himself, "I wonder if this demonic beast, Buddha jumps over the wall, tastes the same as the one fan shout-on used to make." The beauty beside when Hong gushed as she ate. "Thank you, young master fan. I'm so fortunate to be able to enjoy this with you." And so, Yibei took his first bite. He had barely swallowed a mouthful when he slammed his fist on the table in a rage. The sudden noise was so loud. It startled Wen Hong and his companions. Yibei gripped his spoon tightly. His face twisted in anger as he shouted, "This demonic beast! Buddha jumps over the wall. Who made this? Is this slop even fit for human consumption?" Hearing that, Wen Hong shot to his feet and roared, "What did you just say, you worthless insect? Can't you see that this young master also ordered the Buddha jumps over the wall?" The two beauties cooed, trying to placate him. "Don't lower yourself to his level, young master. He's just a country bumpkin. That's right. Getting angry over someone like that will only harm you. He's not worth it." Wen Hong was immensely pleased with their fawning. He turned and sneered at Yibei. What would an ignorant peasant who's never seen the world possibly know about the taste of a delicacy like this? Tired of the braggart's nonsense, Yibei fired back. "This inedible garbage is only good enough to fool a rich fool like you." Veins bulged on Wen Hong's forehead. "Gore, what did you say?" The waiter forced a smile and stepped in. "Esteemed guest, this dish was prepared by our head chef himself." "Please, sir." Yibei cut him off without a shred of courtesy. "Get your head chef out here." Wen Hong, relishing the drama, bellowed, "Yes, get your head chef out here. Let's have him teach this country bumpkin a lesson." A towering man suddenly appeared, asking in a deep voice, "Greetings, guest." Even the distinguished young master fan of the Crimson Sun sect is pleased with my cooking. "What seems to be your issue?" Head chef Tong Lu, late-stage divine court realm. Seeing the head chef himself appear, Wen Hong smugly wrapped his arms around his two companions and smirked. Just some nobody at the early-stage spirit condensation realm dares to question the cooking of a late-stage divine court realm master? Now, this is going to be a good show. Drawn by the commotion, a crowd gathered, their whispers filling the air. Is this guy out of his mind? How dare he cause a scene at the Haixin Lu? He spent 5 whole spirit stones on that. If it were me, I wouldn't dare open my mouth. It's just a pot of soup. Tong Lu stood there, his large frame blocking the light from the doorway. His expression was severe as he pressed, "Young master, please speak your mind." Yibei held nothing back, delivering a blunt and brutal assessment. "The soup base for the Buddha jumps over the wall. Conid must be sun-dried for 49 days to draw out the peak freshness of the ingredients. You use fresh ingredients as a shortcut. Why do you have to call yourself a head chef?" Just a few words were enough for Tong Lu to realize he was facing an expert. His heart pounded with a sense of dread. This man, he's a true master. Meanwhile, Yibei mercilessly continued his takedown. The ribs weren't seared over a high flame. A failure. The fish maw was overboiled. A failure. The abalone was cooked too long, making it tough. A failure. The broth is thin and lacks fire. It is, without a doubt, a failure among failures. The more the chef listened, the more horrified he became. This boy's knowledge of cuisine is unbelievable. He knows even more than my own master. Having completely dismantled the dish, Yibei looked up and challenged him. "And you have the audacity to call this your most famous dish? Here?" Wen Hong, assuming Yibei was just making a scene, scoffed loudly. A pipsqueak at the early-stage spirit condensation realm dares to question the signature dish of a late-stage divine court realm chef? This is going to be good. But the moment the words left his mouth, Tong Lu dropped to his knees without a second thought. He kowtowed, completely humbled, and begged earnestly, Forgive me, senior. Master, I was blind and failed to recognize your greatness. Please forgive me. Meanwhile, when Hong's jaw dropped, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. The beautiful woman beside him was just as stunned. Losing face, he couldn't take it anymore and aggressively confronted the head chef. He said your food was garbage. And you're kowtowing to him. Are you an idiot? Tong Lu said with devastating honesty. Every word of the senior's analysis was pure gold. The demonic beast, Buddha's temptation I made, truly is garbage. When Hong was doubly humiliated, he glared at the chef and growled. So by admitting that, you're indirectly trying to prove that I like to eat garbage? Yibei decided to add fuel to the fire. You can't blame him for that. A person of your caliber only deserves to eat garbage. When Hong shot him a death glare, what did you say? Yibei didn't mind repeating the provocation. I said, a person like you only deserves to eat garbage. Did you hear me clearly this time? Losing his head in a fit of rage, he attacked, screaming furious, you're asking to die. Yibei didn't even try to dodge, yet the attack missed completely. Then, he made his move. In the blink of an eye, his hand shot out and reached Wen Hong's face. In the next moment, he slammed Wen Hong's face straight into the table. Wen Hong had never suffered such a humiliation in his life. His eyes were wide with shock, but it wasn't over. Yibei looked down on him with a laser-like gaze and said disdainfully, what kind of trash are you? To act so brazenly? The onlookers erupted into a flurry of whispers. The patrons gasped in unison. Oh my God, that kid actually laid a hand on a genius from the Crimson Sun sect. I don't think this kid wants to live anymore. Yibei held him down, smirking as he muttered. And here I thought you were something special. Turns out this is all you've got. When Hong's heart burned with rage, he spoke through gritted teeth. Let me go, or I'll make you regret this. A sharp glint flashed in his eyes. Fine by me, he said, his voice cold and dangerous. Fine by me. I'd love to see exactly what you can do. With no strength to resist, when Hong was thrown out of the restaurant, his attendants rushed to his side. Young master. The other patrons scrambled to escape, shouting, it's over. This place just pissed off the Crimson Sun sect. Let's get out of here. My life is more important. He was completely knocked out, the whites of his eyes showing, utterly unconscious. Yibei casually walked out of the restaurant and remarked, he couldn't even take a single hit. If Wen Hong had been conscious to hear that, he probably would have passed out all over again. Only Tong Lu felt like his world had been turned upside down. His face turned pale as he thought in horror. Am I seeing things? Asterisk with a cultivation at the first level of the condensing spirit realm, he defeated the late-stage profound connection realm young master in a single move. Asterisk. He looked at Yibei and stammered. Senior, you've caused a terrible disaster. Yibei was unfazed. What's there to be afraid of? I only crippled his cultivation. I didn't kill him. Hearing this, Tong Lu broke into a cold sweat. He was even more horrified. Asterisk his cultivation is crippled. Asterisk, his cultivation is crippled. That's a fate worse than death. Even though he was terrified of the Crimson Sun sect, he gathered his courage and made an offer. Senior, how about I hold him off for you for a bit? You should escape quickly. The Crimson Sun sect is the most powerful force in Yunfan City. Several of their elders have already reached the Saint Realm. The sect master broke through to the Saint King realm 100 years ago, and you just crippled their best disciple. Their best. The Qiang sect will absolutely make you pay dearly for this. Seeing his increasingly dire warnings, Yibei offered a bit of compassionate reassurance. Relax. It's just a puny Qiang sect. I'll cripple as many as they send. I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat first, he said, rubbing his stomach as he walked back into the restaurant. Tong Lu watched him go, completely speechless. He just made an enemy of the Qiang sect. And he's still this calm? Who in the world is this guy? Yibei, in the middle of his meal, made a request. Oh, right. Can you get me in touch with your boss? Tong Lu hesitated before answering with difficulty. You mean the matron? For the past 100 years, the matron has been traveling the world. The last time I saw her myself was 5 years ago. He asked curiously. So she doesn't normally manage these restaurants here in Yunfan City? Tong Lu was taken aback. He gave a fawning smile and explained. Senior Yi, Yuyist. The matron entrusts all these businesses to her disciples to manage. Hearing this, Yibei, just as he'd expected, let out a puff of frustrated air, and muttered to himself. I knew it wouldn't be that simple. This damn system would never be kind enough to give me an easy mission. Seeing that the restaurant was a dead end, Yi Bei asked another question. Do you know where the Brocade Shadow Division of Yunfan City is? Tong Lu looked completely lost and scratched his head. The Brocade Shadow Division? What's that? Is it some kind of sect or clan? Seeing his utter confusion, Yi Bei sighed and waved his hand dismissively. Forget it. You can go back to your work. Also, I'll be counting on you for my room and board for the next few days. Tong Lu, regaining his composure, nodded. Meanwhile, at the Qiang sect headquarters, a powerful voice boomed. What? You're saying when Hong's cultivation was crippled? The attendant replied in a trembling voice. Yes. Sect master. The Qiang sect master crushed the wine cup in his hand and growled. Well, you insolent little brat. You actually dare to lay a hand on a member of my Qiang sect? An elder of the Qiang sect stepped forward to advise him. Sect master, please calm your anger. The young master was harmed by some unknown youth who's only at the first level of the spirit condensation realm. To be able to cripple Wen Hong's cultivation in a single move. This person is certainly no ordinary foe. Right now, our main priority is the third elder, who has led a team to the Night Emperor's tomb to retrieve the treasure. We should not stir up more trouble. I urge the sect master to reconsider. Hearing him out, the sect master only grew more enraged, shattering the remains of the cup as he gave his order. Then, since I want to keep a close watch on that brat and the two women for now, once the third elder has succeeded, I will personally ensure that boy is ground into dust. At the same time, inside Yi Bei's mausoleum, one of his disciples slammed her fist on the coffin. Yushan gripped the edges of the coffin, her voice a furious roar. How dare those bastards? How dare they steal Master's remains? She is a cultivator of the way of architecture, currently at level 20. Yushan again. Master's remains are from a body refining realm that transcends the mortal plane. This body is useless to an ordinary person, but if the master of sacred ground got their hands on it. So what if it's the master of a sacred ground? They dare to steal Master's remains. Even if I have to risk my own life, I will bring our master back. But before Yushan could act, Kefu stopped her. Senior sister, wait. She turned, her brow furrowed in anger. Kefu sensed something unusual and said gravely, someone has activated the restrictive seals outside the tomb. They're breaking the formation. Yushan immediately drew her heavy sword. A cold, indifferent look crossed her face. Perfect timing. If we don't teach them a lesson, they'll really start to think this is their own home. The tomb gate slowly rumbled open. A group of people cheered, fawning over their leader. The third elder is magnificent. My heavens. The third elder's mastery of formations is truly second to none. It only took a few seconds to break the seal. That's right. This time, we're sure to walk away with priceless treasures. The third elder, on the other hand, was completely bewildered, staring at the yin-yang orb in his hand. He was a total loss. I had everything prepared, but it broke before I even started. How did it open so easily? Just then, Yushan's voice cut in. You got some real nerve? Daring to rob this tomb. She strode forward aggressively. Startled, the third elder instinctively looked away. But when he saw it was just two women, he sneered, judging them by his own greedy standards. Then, he threatened them. What's with the act? We're all here for the same thing, aren't we? Leave the treasure behind, and I'll let you live. The two women's faces turned grim as they stared at the group like they were already dead. Kefu asked, Senior sister, should we leave any of them alive? Yushan replied decisively, keep the loudmouth. Seeing how calm and composed they were, the third elder grew wary. They were clearly surrounded by so many divine court realm experts. Yet they showed no fear. In fact, a palpable killing intent radiated from them. Putting on a menacing front, he shouted, if that's how you want to play it, then don't blame us for getting rough with a couple of helpless women. Get them. His eager men leaped forward. The men of the Qiyang sect charged in, their laughter crude and sinister. Kefu spread her arms wide and called out in a low voice. Array, activate. Standing by, Yushan offered a silent, chilling smile. Her face was as grim as a vengeful spirit's. Instantly, small, precise arrays of light appeared at the feet of the tomb raiders. In a flash, the arrays tripled in size, trapping everyone within their range. The array's cold light reflected in Khufu's eyes, which glowed blindingly. She chanted in a loud, clear voice. Soul snare. In a heartbeat, a monstrous beast, with a terrifying, soul-devouring maw, emerged from the array. Its roar shook the heavens, striking fear into the hearts of the Tomb Raiders. The horrific sound wave pierced their bodies, causing their very souls to shatter. In the blink of an eye, every Tomb Raider within the array died, their heads exploding. Only then did the third elder realize he had picked a fight with death itself. He trembled from head to toe. The soul-reaping array. His mind went blank with terror. He couldn't even think to run. He was completely paralyzed, shaking before their overwhelming power. And they had done it all without even breaking a sweat. He asked weakly, "What is your relationship with that soul-devouring demon lord? How do you also know the soul-reaping array?" Khufu ignored him, continuing to channel her spiritual energy. Now, he was the only one left. He collapsed to the ground and screamed, "You can't kill me." Khufu paid the third elder no mind. Her lips parted, whispering a single word. Soul probe. She raised a hand to the sky, giving the command. The giant beast reappeared, siphoning away his life force. In an instant, the third elder's soul was torn from his body. His face visibly shriveled. Once every last bit of value had been squeezed from him, Yushan stepped in and finished him off. She looked at Khufu, a playful glint in her eyes. "Oh, little Fu, after all these years, you still haven't improved much, have you? This memory-stealing ability of yours is still a far cry from Master's." Khufu huffed proudly, grumbling. Master's realm is something I can only look up to. Finding her reaction no fun, Yushan simply smiled. "I was just teasing you." After a brief moment of banter, they grew serious again. Khufu said, "Let's go, senior sister. We're heading for Yunfan City to find the Qiyang sect." "Let's move," Yushan commanded. The next morning, at the Two Lotuses Inn, several tendrils of crimson, spiritual energy reached out like vines. Feeling the power surging through his body, Yibei murmured in satisfaction. "I can't believe it's only been half a day, and I've already broken through to the second level of the spirit condensation realm. My aptitude for defying heaven and changing fate truly is flawless. Impressive. I wonder if I can break through the entire spirit condensation realm within a month." He'd barely finished patting himself on the back when he heard a commotion outside. "Look, what is that? I never thought I'd see something like that in Yunfan City." Yi Bai curiously went out and asked Tong Lu, "What's going on out there? Why is it so noisy?" He casually explained, "They're saying a lot of people just saw it. A ship as big as a mountain just flew across the sky." The description sounded familiar to Yi Bai. He had a hunch. A flying ship, as big as a mountain. Could it be? He made up his mind. "Let's go. We're going to check it out. Who knows? That ship might land in Yunfan City." Tong Lu, his interest piqued, agreed. After moving for a while, Tong Lu, unable to keep up, gasped for air. "Senior, wait for me." He cried internally. "I thought I just had to slow down to match Senior's pace. But I never expected to lose him completely. This afternoon, he was only at the first level of the spirit condensation realm. How could he in just half a day? Wait, in half a day, did Senior already break through another entire realm? The moment eBay saw it, he knew exactly whose massive creation that was. His heart leaped. Isn't this Noah's Ark? To be able to build something like this. Besides that level 20 genius, Yushan, who else could it be? Tong Lu recognized the ship's destination and shouted, "Wait, that flying ship is heading straight for the Qiyang sect. Could that ship belong to their sect?" He suddenly remembered the group and said with interest, "The Qiyang sect. Come on, let's go have a look." By now, Yushan's gigantic ark was parked right at the gates of the Qiyang sect. The moment she disembarked, she roared furiously, "Su Yuanho, get your ass out here." The passers-by couldn't help but comment on the scene. Does this girl have a death wish? How dare she openly curse the sect master of the Qiyang sect, who broke through to the sage realm long ago? What a pity for this young lady. She just had to pick a fight with Su Yuanho. But Yi Bei was thrilled. His face lit up. "I found her. I've finally found my first disciple." They waited and waited until the sun began to set. Yet, there was still no peep from the Qiyang sect. Yi Bei looked up at his disciple, who was clearly on the warpath, and couldn't help but wonder. "I know I don't need to deal with the Qiyang sect myself. But why would Yushan have a conflict with them? At that moment, Yushan was consumed by a towering rage. Her brows knitted as she thought. To think that in the last 2 years, the Qiyong sect has come to the Night Emperor's tomb 13 times. And each time, they've been more outrageous than the last. The information about Master's remains. It definitely has something to do with them. Just then, the Qiyong sect finally sent someone out. Who are you? Do you think you have the right to speak the sect master's name? It was the great elder of the Qiyong sect. The appearance of Su Yuanho caused a stir. The cultivators gathered below began introducing him. It's the great elder of the Qiyong sect. I heard he recently broke through to the 8th level of the Sage Realm. His mastery of the great Tao of the sword has reached a new level. They say a single, casual swing of his sword can split mountains and rivers. He's incredible. I'd love to witness the great elder's power firsthand. Yushan raised her middle finger. Her expression was icy as she spoke. Don't be in such a hurry to die. It's not your turn yet. Her words were enough to make an arrogant man like him see red. He brandished his sword and roared. How insolent! But his pathetic display wasn't even worth Yushan's attention. She stated coolly, "Is that all?" The words had barely left her lips. With a gentle palm strike, Yushan effortlessly neutralized his opponent's move. Only then did Marquis Su Yuan realize he was facing a powerful foe, his brow furrowing. This terrifying power. Besides the sect master, no one else could possibly. The palm print continued its advance, striking terror into his heart. Could it be? She's a Saint King realm expert? As the thought crossed his mind, his face was consumed by fear. Marquis Su Yuan could only swing his sword in a desperate attempt to save himself. If this keeps up, this is going to be extremely bad for me. His streams of sword energy acted as a detonator, causing the palm strike to erupt in a cataclysmic explosion. The fiery explosion illuminated the entire sky. The great elder fell back toward the watchtower. Yusan's eyes glinted as she saw his retreat, her voice cold. Trying to run? It won't be that easy. She gripped her great sword and raised it high. At the same time, a formation array materialized behind her. Hearing her, the great elder reflexively turned his head to look. And in that exact moment, Yusan brought her sword down. A torrent of ferocious spiritual energy crashed down upon him. And just like that, Marquis Su Yuan was slammed into the ground. The crowd of onlookers gasped in shock, their voices filled with disbelief. This, the great elder, a master of the 8th stage of the Saint Realm, was defeated so utterly. Just who in the heavens is that woman? Only then did the sect master of the Crimson Sun sect emerge with his followers to greet them. I was wondering who could be so formidable, daring to cause trouble here at my Crimson Sun sect. So, it is the divine blessing fairy, Lady Yusan. I wonder what has angered you, fairy? He lamented internally. Why did it have to be her? Yusan spoke bluntly, pointing her sword forward as she declared. The items you took from the Night Emperor's tomb. Hand them all over to me. I might let the rest of you live. She raised her sword over her head, her voice like ice. As for you, you die. With those words, Yusan swung her blade down with immense force. Sword energy raged, threatening to tear heaven and earth asunder. The Crimson Sun sect master remained calm as he channeled his power. His tone was smug and condescending. This is the Crimson Sun sect. Do you really think you have a right to run rampant here? You, a mere cultivator of a support path, think you can take my life? I'm afraid you're still dreaming. As he spoke, a blast of blue spiritual energy shot out to clash with her terrifying sword chi. On the sidelines, Yubei explained, the support path is for those who become cultivators by mastering life skills. Cooking, construction, blacksmithing, alchemy, and so on. The Crimson Sun sect master effortlessly blocked her attack, a mocking sneer on his face. If I were to eliminate a demonic cultivator like you, I'm sure many people would applaud my heroic deed. Hearing this, Yusan broke into a wicked smile. Is that so? Then by all means, give it a try. She snapped her fingers and commanded. Target, Crimson Sun sect. No exceptions. Fire. In an instant, the colossal airship unleashed hundreds upon hundreds of swords. Seeing this, the Crimson Sun sect master felt a sense of impending doom. His face paled. His spiritual energy erupted violently. His eyes bloodshot, he roared. Activate the Grand Array. Now! The The members of the Crimson Sun sect scrambled to pour their spiritual energy into the formation. A transparent barrier appeared, enveloping them. The Crimson Sun sect master gritted his teeth, desperately trying to hold the defense. The flying ship rained down destruction like a tornado, striking the Crimson Sun sect's territory directly. The Crimson Sun sect master looked down as his main sect grounds were engulfed in a sea of flames. Disbelief flooded his heart. How is this possible? He muttered under his breath. A demonic cultivator. She truly is a demonic cultivator. The civilians living nearby heard the commotion and began to flee for their lives. They cried out in terror. Run! If even one of those swords flies our way, we'll have no chance of escaping. This is terrifying. Where did that airship even come from? It's basically a giant killing machine. With something like that, you could wipe out an entire sect in no time at all. Dong Lu nervously looked around and suggested, Senior, maybe we should get out of here too? Yi Bei replied calmly. Not yet. Well, things are getting interesting. Let's just watch for a bit. He waited for the waterspout attack to pass. Only then did he and his lackeys dare to show their faces and stir up trouble. Do you really think I, Marquis Su Yuan, am some kind of push-up? Attack! With a single shout, the sect master of the Crimson Sun sect began to channel his spiritual energy. His followers did the same. Continuously, their power flowed together, forming a colossal sword. The moment the blade took shape, it shot forward like a falling star. Its target was clearly Yushan, but she just clenched her fist. A burst of peach-colored spiritual energy erupted around her. Yushan tilted her head back and let out a fierce roar. In an instant, her clothes transformed. This new outfit was very fitting. It especially accentuated her ample chest. Down below, Yi Bei quietly covered his mouth, snickering in amusement. Seeing this, a curious Tong Lu asked, Senior, what's so funny about that? Don't you think that battle armor is awesome? Besides, it let her instantly dodge that ridiculously powerful combined sword attack. He didn't argue, even agreeing with a nod. It is awesome, but inside, he swelled with pride, silently adding, That's my disciple, all right. Back on the battlefield, Yushan lashed out fiercely with a whip in each hand. The Crimson Sun sect's small fry were too slow to dodge and were cut down, while his men were being mowed down like weeds by Yushan. The Crimson Sun sect's master cast a spell. Instantly, formation arrays surrounded her from all directions. Chains shot out, binding her completely. Her movements restricted. Yushan snapped out of her rage, gritting her teeth. Damn it! I was careless. The sect master seized the opportunity, directing his spirit sword to pierce right through her. Lie, Yushan. You forced my hand. Her mind raced with tension. Crap. This is really bad. Keikafu saw the danger and shouted out. Marquis Su Yuan, you dare harm my senior sister? I'll turn your entire Crimson Sun sect into a refinement array. With that, Keikafu launched his attack. Recognizing his opponent, the Marquis looked even more delighted, exclaiming, It's Keikafu. I never expected a demonic cultivator like you to be on this flying ship. Just wait until I'm done with Lai Yushan. You're next. Not about to let that happen. Keikafu unleashed his sword. Yujian, break. But the sword wasn't strong enough. It couldn't even scratch the chains. Keikafu had underestimated his enemy. He cried out in shock. What? The Crimson Sun sect master shot him a look, filled with contempt. Did you really think that with your pathetic skills, you could break my sword Dao? The situation grew more desperate by the second. Keikafu reached out, his voice cracking as he screamed. Senior sister, seeing Keikafu's despair, the Marquis cackled with glee. Now all of you can go to hell. In that moment of utter hopelessness, Yi Bei suddenly appeared, blocking the way. I'm here. No one's going to harm them. The moment the powerful attack met him, it was instantly redirected. The Crimson Sun sect's master was stunned. He blocked it. My strongest attack, my most powerful strike, was stopped just like that. And he's completely unharmed. The sword even reversed course, heading back toward the sect master. He couldn't believe it. Who in the world is this man? How is this possible? The two disciples gazed at the long-missed figure, their hearts swelling with emotion. It's Keikafu bowed formally and said, Disciple. Keikafu pays his respects to master. Yushan also bowed. Disciple. Lai Yushan pays her respects to master. Yubei said sternly. At ease. You too. First, make sure he's truly dead. Then we can talk. They replied respectfully. Yes, master. He scanned his surroundings and confirmed. That last strike. His physical body may be dead, but his primordial spirit hasn't been extinguished. Now, as long as those two work together, capturing him will be a sure thing. Pressure. The spiritual pressure from the Crimson Sun sect master's body suddenly intensified, gathering in a torrent above his head. Seeing this, the two sisters wore expressions of utter shock. This is the aura of a great emperor. Yubei pressed his lips together, standing by to watch. Before long, a figure appeared, speaking in a high and mighty tone. I am the Crimson Blood Great Emperor of the Star Brilliance Holy Land. You ants dare to slaughter my people. I will grant you one chance to kill yourselves. Cripple your own cultivation immediately. Otherwise, I will make everyone around you die with you. Gufu and Lianmi scoffed. Kill ourselves? In your dreams. The two sisters thought in unison. Master is watching from behind us. In this battle, we will die before we surrender. Yubei waited for her to finish before speaking. It's just a sliver of a great emperor's divine will. It's only good for scaring people. You really think you're the real deal? Huh? Onlookers watching the battle chattered excitedly. What? The person who blocked Marquis, Su Yuan's heaven-shaking sword, is only at the second level of the spirit condensation realm? That's impossible. He must be hiding his cultivation level. It's a lie. It has to be a lie. Spirit condensation cultivators can't even fly. But this guy's just standing there in midair. The Crimson Blood Great Emperor looked down from on high and declared arrogantly, What's this? Are you trying to defy my command? Here in Central Plains City, this is the domain of my Star Brilliance Holy Land. He didn't even have a chance to finish his boasting before he was struck. And just like that, the wisp of divine will, which hadn't even been present for 5 seconds, dissipated. With the divine will gone, the body of the Crimson Sun sect master went into a freefall. The sisters hadn't even had a chance to make their move. At the same time, thump! Yubei, standing behind them, grimaced and shouted. So noisy, the two sisters turned and cried out, Master! Master! He held a fist forward, declaring triumphantly, Star Brilliance Holy Land. The debt from 300 years ago. I was unable to come and settle it then. But now, it's time to collect. Just then, a needle shimmering with a fluorescent glow silently entered the green vortex. It shot through the vortex, chasing its target to a watchtower floating in the sky. Alone on his throne, the Crimson Blood Great Emperor was roaring with rage. Damn it! How dare some ant actually fight back against me, challenging the might of the Star Brilliance Holy Land. Guards! Guards! But no one came. Instead, the needle was now hovering right above the Crimson Blood Great Emperor's head. He was completely dumbfounded, his heart filled with confusion and terror. What? How is this possible? This divine needle. It should have been destroyed along with my projection. Why is it still here? Before the Crimson Blood Great Emperor could even move, the needle fell. On the other side of the vortex, Yubei sensed it and a smile crept across his face. His attendants, arriving late, saw him sprawled on the floor and rushed over. Great Emperor, what's happened to you? Great Emperor, quick, get the holy sage of medicine. Hurry, inform the other great emperors. Hearing the commotion, the raging fire Great Emperor burst in and demanded, What's going on here? One of the attendants hurriedly reported, Your Majesty, Great Emperor Lihua. A moment ago, Great Emperor Qixia was suddenly struck by a mysterious divine needle that came out of nowhere. And this is the result. What? Great Emperor Qixia lay unresponsive. He was deliriously muttering what sounded like his last words. Lihua. But, second-level spirit condensation realm. He passed out before he could finish. Great Emperor Lihua urged him on. Qixia, finish what you were saying. What about the spirit condensation realm? What does this have to do with the spirit condensation realm? Getting no response, he checked his pulse. His expression turned to shock. He could hardly believe what he was sensing. His brows furrowed. This isn't an external wound. It's a fatal blow to his very soul. If Qixia hadn't also cultivated the Tao of the soul, an injury like this, I'm afraid his spirit would have already scattered. Who did this? Who in the world could it be? Qixia, just who did you manage to piss off? In the face of Yi Bei's overwhelming presence, everyone from the Scarlet Sun sect knelt in submission. Tong Lu was no exception. He thought to himself, Senior Yi, that day, he annihilated the great emperor's phantom with a single strike. And on top of that, he's the master of these two women. This is Yushan, believing Yi Bei was just a spiritual remnant, cried out in anguish. Master, your disciple missed you so much. You've finally come back to visit us. Khufu was just as emotional, sobbing. Master, please rest easy. I've found a secret realm of an ancient immortal king. I know there's an ancient formation inside that can revive you, your disciple swears. No matter the cost, even if it's my own life, I will bring you back. Seeing his disciples in such a state, his heart ached, and he spoke gently to comfort them. Now, stop crying. If you keep this up, you won't be my beautiful disciples anymore. Hearing this, the two of them froze in shock. Yushan asked in disbelief. Little Fu, am I dreaming? Did Master just speak to us? Khufu was overcome with emotion. 300 years. I've waited for 300 years to finally see Master this close again. Yushan, giddy with joy, unconsciously grabbed her junior sister's clothes. Quick, you have to hit me. Yi Bei, understanding perfectly, stepped forward. You two silly girls. You didn't really think my power was spent, and that this spiritual remnant was just going to fade away, did you? Only then did Yushan truly start to believe. Tears welled up in her eyes. It's really Master. Yi Bei gave a genuine smile. That's right. It's no illusion. I have been resurrected. Your master has returned. Overcome with joy, Yushan hugged Khufu and pleaded. Little Fu, can you please slap me? I'm so scared. I'm scared this is all a dream. A system notification appeared. Reunited with one of 108 disciples. Reward. Host cultivation speed x10. Reunited with one of 108 disciples. Reward. Disciple edition. Plus 100 years of cultivation. Host edition is for host use only. Disciple edition is for disciple use only. Hearing this, Yi Bei circulated his energy to test it out, marveling at the result. My spiritual energy absorption rate really has increased tenfold. If that's the case, then if I find a few more disciples, couldn't I make it 50 or even 100 times faster? Maybe even more than that. However, this disciple edition plus 100 years of cultivation. How do I use this reward? The system replied. As long as the host makes contact with the disciple, you just need to will the distribution. Yi Bei asked again. It's that simple? So, just getting close is enough? It answered concisely. Correct. With the system's confirmation. A wicked smile touched his lips as he toyed with the whip. Is that so? Seeing the object in his hand, Yushan cried out with joy. It's the god-striking whip. Master is really alive. This is unbelievable. Yi Bei slowly walked toward them. With a dark expression, he spoke. One of you is an array master, the other an architect. You two support types try to fight and kill an expert of the same realm. Do you have a death wish? 10 lashes for each of you. You will not resist. Neither of them resisted in the slightest. They willingly presented themselves for punishment. We were wrong, Master. We await our punishment. Without another word, Yi Bei began to swing the whip. The god-striking whip cracked mercilessly against their backs. Khufu flinched. Yushan had the same pained expression. She closed her eyes, as if savoring it. As he swung the whip, Yi Bei's mind was filled with worry. If I hadn't happened to be in Yin Fan City today, I'm afraid what would have happened to these two foolish girls fighting that Ji Yuan Ho. They might have. Khufu felt a surge of power and gasped in shock. What the? My cultivation. It's skyrocketing. Don't tell me Master is. She cried out hastily. Master, what are you doing? Please, Master, take it back. We were the ones who made a mistake. We can't accept this reward. Especially not when you've just been revived. Master, please, take it back. Stone-faced, he continued with authority. I have my own plans. You two will accept your punishment. After the punishment was done, Yi Bei withdrew the god-striking whip. All right, get up. The two disciples lay sprawled on the ground, panting. Thank you, Master, for your grace. Seeing their wretched state, he knew he had to speed things up. I need to find my more powerful disciples, and soon. Otherwise, with just these two support disciples, their offensive power will always be lacking. That night at the inn, Khufu and Yushan spoke in unison. Master, We were useless. We failed to protect our senior sisters. Our sisters. Please, Master, punish us. Yibei fell in a deep thought. I never thought the ones who scatter my disciples would be the 9 great sacred lands. Now that I've returned, then all of it, every single debt, I will come to collect. Yushan suddenly remembered something and spoke up urgently. Oh right, Master. I forgot to mention. Senior sister Tai Bai is also in Zhongyuan City. It's just, seeing that she had spoken out of turn, Kafu cleared her throat as a warning. Senior sister, seeing Yushan guiltily cover her mouth. Yibei scratched his chin and murmured to himself. Tai Bai, what about her? Still, with Tai Bai's heaven-sent talent, after 300 years, she must be on the verge of becoming an emperor, right? Knowing she couldn't hide the truth, Kafu had no choice but to speak. After she broke through to the half-emperor realm, she went alone, by her own power, and attacked the stellar sacred land. No one ever saw what happened after that. Hearing the name of that place, a chill settled in his heart. The Star Brilliance Holy Land. The Star Brilliance Holy Land again. Yibei pressed for answers. Where is Tai Bai now? Kafu, not daring to hide anything, answered immediately. Luo Guang City. Tai Bai. Sword Villa. He stood up and spoke. I was originally going to let you 2 hide here and consolidate your cultivation for a couple of days, but it seems that's no longer necessary. We leave at once. For Luo Guang City. His 2 disciples replied with reverence. Yes, Master. 3 days later, in the morning, Yibei was meditating and cultivating inside the Naya pill chamber. He awoke, sensing his progress, and muttered with dissatisfaction. Only 5 minor breakthroughs in 3 days. This is a little slow. Hearing this, Kafu let out a sigh. Their master goes again. A normal person couldn't even manage 1 breakthrough in 3 years. Yushan agreed. Yeah, paying them no mind. Yibei encouraged himself. Not bad. I need to push even harder. Break through straight to the Tongxian realm. By then, I'll be able to unlock another card. 1 day later, he flicked a coin to the waiter, and then asked, Tell me everything you know about the Tai Bai Sword Villa. The man's eyes lit up at the sight of money. He asked eagerly, Sir, are you also planning to attend the Tai Bai Sword Villa's martial arts wine banquet? Hearing this, Yibei repeated with a skeptical look. A martial arts wine banquet? The waiter then began to tell the whole story. The villa master of the Tai Bai Sword Villa was badly injured a long time ago. His strength has been declining ever since. I heard he has almost no cultivation left, so he just drinks all day long. Completely wasted. Now, he's even started trading his possessions for wine. He's squandering his entire fortune. You have to understand, back in its heyday, the Tai Bai Sword Villa was as crowded as a festival. Countless sword cultivators traveled thousands of miles just to ask for his guidance. What a shame, what a shame. Yushan shot to her feet, slammed the table, and yelled. That's nonsense. Yibei said sternly. Yushan. Realizing she'd gone too far, Yushan deflated. I'm sorry, Master. That was reckless of me. He didn't blame her, instead reassuring her gently. Although I don't know exactly what happened to Tai Bai, or why he's like this. Your master is an expert at snapping people out of it. That afternoon at the Tai Bai Sword Villa, amidst the bustling crowd, Old Wei called out. Next, hand your wine over to me. Yibei placed a wine jug on the table, startling the old man slightly. The action drew everyone's gaze, but their focus was on the jug itself. The crowd, holding their own wine, murmured in admiration. Forget about the wine inside for a second. This jug alone could probably buy several high-quality spirit stones. For the jug to be this exquisite, the wine inside must be extraordinary. Looks like this young man will have no problem making a trade. Old Wei was practically drooling at the sight. His eyes were shining. But Yibei pulled the jug back and said, Not so fast. Old Wei was puzzled. Young master, what is the meaning of this? He confidently poured a small cup. This wine is extremely precious. It's a gift for the villa master. 1 cup is more than enough. He held the cup with both hands. Old Wei silently sized him up. Just 1 cup? This kid is way too stingy. But when that intoxicating aroma wafted past his nose, all his complaints vanished. Lao Wei thought to himself dreamily. This wine, it smells absolutely divine. If I could just have 1 sip in my lifetime, it would all be worth it. Yibo spoke up again. Oh right, steward, please deliver 2 messages to the Villa Master for me. Lao Wei readily agreed. Of course. Please, young master, go ahead. He then said, the first is a line. May this wine bring the Villa Master such a deep intoxication that she forgets the very way home. The second is a verse, a poem, a jug of wine, a song, and a sword to roam the ends of the earth. After hearing this, Lao Wei bowed respectfully and said, young master, please wait a moment. I will present the wine to the Villa Master. After he left, Yushan clung to him playfully. Master, that's so unfair. Shanshan want to drink too. Joining in, Kafu grabbed his other side and pouted. Yeah, let little Fu have a taste too. Just a tiny sip, please? Yibo was thoroughly amused. His face flushed as he feigned anger. If you two keep this up, this master won't be so gentle anymore. In Tai Bai's grand hall, a young girl was practicing her swordsmanship. Tai Bai herself leisurely reclined on a dais, drinking wine. Shar, finished with her practice, approached and gently advised, Master, you've been drinking like this for days. You should really stop. Tai Bai said wearily, Shar, you're still young. You don't understand. Your sword forms just now were passable. But you're overthinking it. You aren't feeling the flow. The body should move with the will. You must become one with the sword. Only then will it be profound and mysterious. Its movements unpredictable. Seeing Tai Bai so listless and weary, Shar asked with a heavy heart, Master, is it because the anniversary of the Grand Master's passing is in 2 days? Is that why you're like this? Tai Bai averted her gaze. She gave an order. Shar, rest for a bit. Then continue your practice. My wine should be arriving soon. Though she wanted to help, Shar could only reply dejectedly. Yes, Master. Just then, Lao Wei entered, carrying a precious cup of wine. Villa Master, the wine is here, he said, presenting it respectfully. His face was beaming. Seeing only a single cup in his hands, Tai Bai couldn't help but wonder, why is there only 1 cup this time? But then the intoxicating aroma of the wine reached her, and she hurriedly descended from the dais. Tai Bai hastily took the cup, her heart pounding with excitement. This wine, it's a divine treasure. Perhaps only by getting drunk can I see my master again. Master, your disciple misses you so much. She took a deep drink. Tai Bai asked in a daze. Lao Wei, did the person who brought this wine also come from the queue? Lao Wei replied, yes, Villa Master. He must be a disciple from a great clan at the 7th level of the spirit condensation realm. Furthermore, he asked me to deliver 2 messages to you. She said, let's hear them. Lao Wei stroked his chin and recited. The first is a line. May this wine bring the Villa Master such a deep intoxication that she forgets the very way home. She'd only heard the first half when the wine glass dropped from her hand. Tai Bai whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. This is... She urged him on, her excitement growing. What's the second line? Old Wei quickly replied. The second line is a single poem, a single jug of wine, a single song, a single sword to the edge of the world. Tai Bai, overcome with emotion, she grabbed him by the shoulders and shook him. Where is that person now? Startled, a bewildered Old Wei asked. He's waiting outside the gate. Villa Master, what's wrong? Is something the matter? Before he could finish, she was already gone. Old Wei watched her retreating figure, scratching his head in confusion. What's gotten into the Villa Master? Seeing him approach, Chu Gu said, Master, senior sister Su is here. Yi Bei instructed them. Just make sure you two are on the same page. And whatever you do, don't blow my cover. He then let out a very suspicious laugh. All Yu-San could do was force a smile. Tai Bai landed and immediately demanded, let me ask you, that wine just now, was it yours? Yi Bei answered cheerfully. It was. He sized her up in his mind, just as I thought. This 4th disciple of mine has become quite disheartened. However, even if you become a piece of scrap iron, your master is going to forge you into a fine blade today. Tai Bai stared at him suspiciously and continued. And those 2 lines of poetry, you said them too? He answered calmly. That was me as well. Hearing this, Tai Bai, filled with tense anticipation, demanded, tell me, who on earth told you those 2 lines? As she spoke, she released, her half-emperor aura subtly applying pressure. Completely unaffected, Yi Bei cleared his throat and said, the wine I gave you. You're still not satisfied? A flicker of doubt crossed Taibai's mind. Why do these three give me such a familiar feeling? Outwardly, she raised her guard and asked, "Who are you, really?" Yibei didn't reveal his identity, instead speaking mysteriously. "Who am I? I can tell you in a bit. But first, let's complete our trade, the wine for an item." Determined to get her answer, Taibai agreed with a solemn nod. "No problem. This villa master is very satisfied with your wine. Name your price. What do you want?" The man's horse-faced smile suddenly turned cunning as he made his request. "I consider myself a sword cultivator as well. So, I want the villa master to lower her cultivation to my level and have a duel with me, no matter the outcome. And until this duel is over, you are not to restore your true power." Taibai replied with a nonchalant air. "You have a deal." A moment later, they arrived at the training grounds. Taibai said, impatiently, "My time is limited. I'll spar with you until sunset at the latest." Watching his disciple while stroking his sword, Yibei thought, "Taibai, she's quite perceptive. She already lowered her cultivation to the first level of the spirit condensation realm on her own. Well, that's fine. This will make teaching her a lesson even easier." From below the stage, the two women watched in terror. You trembled and whispered, "Senior Sister Sue, he's committing a cardinal sin. He's a dead man walking. We should start praying for him." Face to face, Taibai said seriously, "Let's begin. You'd better use your best sword techniques. Otherwise, you won't last 2 rounds against me." Yibo spoke with indifference. "Is that so? Then you'd better watch out." With that, he lunged forward, sword first. Taibai closed her eyes, focusing her senses to perceive the flow of energy around her. His sword chi is immense, but it leaves a trail. Then, she flickered in and out of sight, closing in on her opponent as she coldly assessed him. Not a bad sword style, but it's a little too rigid. It lacks fluidity. Just then, Yibo stomped his foot hard, lowering his center of gravity as he drew his sword back behind his head. Watching his move, Taibai calmly predicted his intent. "So, a surprise attack from the right? Too bad. I've already seen right through you." She raised her sword behind her head, her mind made up. She swung her sword in a powerful arc, only to be stunned. What? Somehow, Yibo had appeared behind her. But Taibai, with her outstanding reflexes, instantly spun around to block the blow. Their swords met for only a second before they parted. Yibo backed away, muttering, "You should really look where you're swinging." In the next instant, blades of sword chi struck at Taibai from all directions. Caught completely off guard, her eyes widened in shock. Astonished. How is this possible? In a single moment of carelessness, Taibai took the full force of the attack. When the dust settled, Taibai was down on one knee, clearly wounded. Yibo held back, deliberately taunting her. "Manor Lord, you shouldn't underestimate your opponent. In a battle of life and death, underestimating your foe is the gravest mistake you can make." Below the stage, Kufu sighed. "Just as I thought. 4th senior sister lost in the first exchange." Yushan exclaimed, a memory flashing through her mind. "That's right. Master is just as powerful as he was back then." A few seconds later, Taibai clutched her side and forced herself to her feet, speaking with resolve. "I underestimated you. Let's continue." She held her sword steady, closing her eyes to focus and reflect. "Careless. I was truly careless this time. But it won't be so easy for you again." Her eyes snapped open and she yelled, "Azure Lotus Sword Art. Second form, Divine Brushstroke." The two junior sisters below watched, completely dazzled. Kufu murmured, "The Azure Lotus Sword Art. That's the strongest technique in 4th senior sister's arsenal." On the stage, Taibai seemed to split in two, both figures rushing forward at once. The Azure Lotus Sword Chi conceals the body in plain sight. It is a blade that does not strike, but when it does, it is to kill. Yibo watched for a moment, his expression unreadable behind the horse mask. Then, with a casual flick of his wrist, he swung his sword. An overwhelmingly powerful wave of sword chi shot forth. The force of it completely shattered Taibai's attack. She cried out, and yet somehow ended up sprawled on the floor, looking surprisingly comfortable. Seeing his hopeless disciple, Yibo continued to prod. "Manor Lord, how about you raise your cultivation level back up to match mine?" His words truly infuriated her. Her face darkened. Enraged, Taibai leaped into the air and shouted, "Azure Lotus Sword Art. 3rd form, Song of the Valiant Lotus. But before she could even strike, her weapon was sent flying from her hand. A complete and utter defeat. Tai Bai collapsed to the ground, devastated, her mind reeling. Once is a mistake. Twice is a coincidence. But 3 times, this kid. He's even completely familiar with my sword techniques. So familiar that every time I change my stance, every time I attack, he's able to predict it all. Who in the world are you? EBay stood there proudly, clearing his throat at her question. Who am I? Do it. Waiting for that very command, Kung stepped onto the stage and began chanting an incantation. A few seconds later, a massive formation instantly enveloped the entire arena. Only then did Tai Bai begin to panic, trying to channel her energy. She cursed inwardly. Damn it. I've been played. What? My cultivation, it's draining away so fast. She was completely caught. How can this be? How can this be? Like a fish on a chopping block, the formation slowly drained away Tai Bai's cultivation. It was only then that she truly understood the danger, gritting her teeth. Damn it. It all started with that gift of wine. He's been controlling me, step by step. First, he used those lines of poetry to stir my emotions. Then he tricked me into suppressing my cultivation, lowering my senses. And it all led to this spirit-sealing grand formation. Shaner cried out, Master! Seeing her disciple rush forward, she quickly shouted an order. Shaner, get away from here. Don't come any closer. But Shaner didn't listen, charging in as she yelled. I won't let anyone hurt you. But the moment she entered the formation, she froze. Seeing her student in danger, Tai Bai threw all caution to the wind and unleashed all of her power. Shaner, in an instant, she erupted with power, releasing a blast of true chi. EBay remained completely unfazed, speaking calmly. You're already at death's door, and you still want to protect someone else? It's useless. Today you'll all die. With that, he waved his sleeve, dissipating the blast of true chi. As he walked toward Shaner, Tai Bai's rage boiled over, and she pushed her power to its absolute limit. You think that just because you've sealed my cultivation, I had no other options? Using all her strength, she launched a powerful blow. EBay calmly met her head-on. The two clashed violently. Yushan, filled with concern, quietly asked, Little Kung, Master won't go too far, will he? I feel like fourth senior sister is going to fight him to the death. Kung replied with unwavering loyalty. We have to bring her back, no matter what. But we absolutely must not interfere. We just need to have faith in Master. Yushan said no more. Tai Bai channeled her power once more. Her beautiful face was dark and grim. Suddenly, Yibei leaped into the formation himself. Tai Bai was stunned. How is that possible? His cultivation should be sealed in here, too. Why hasn't his speed slowed down at all? He's even faster than before. He leaped high into the air, his fist ready to strike. Tai Bai met his attack with a punch of her own. The incredible force drove her feet into the ground. However, Yibei suddenly dove toward the floor. Caught off guard by her own momentum, she was left wide open. What? He seized the opportunity, slamming his fist into her jaw. Completely defenseless, she was sent tumbling across the ground. Even now, Tai Bai was reeling, unable to accept it. Why can he break through my defenses so easily every single time? Why? Why? Yibei gave her no time for questions. He stepped closer, his voice cold and sharp. You think you're so strong? You can't even protect the person right beside you. What right do you have to fall apart? And your master, the reason you've become like this is because your master is the one who, the prime culprit. His words pushed Tai Bai over the edge. She lost all reason. Instantly, a burst of energy shot past at incredible speed. He swiftly dodged it. That attack was unbelievably fast and powerful. Even Yibei, as he was now, only just managed to evade it. He let out a silent sigh of relief. That was close. At that moment, a burning fighting spirit surged within Tai Bai. She ground out through clenched teeth. You can insult anyone you want, but you will not insult my master. Today, I will kill you. He'd almost been taken out, but he was actually quite pleased. Not bad at all. Sword blank. Hammering. Reforging complete. Next is the final step. Quenching. Finalizing. A system notification appeared. Met the third of 108 disciples again. Reward. 1 wisp of sword intent. Disciple edition. He wondered. Extract. Heavenly Ape Sword Intent. A ball of energy appeared in his hand. At that moment, the space around him shattered like broken glass. Spiritual energy condensed into thick, fog-like clouds. It swirled into a vortex in the sky, creating a celestial anomaly. A few old masters nearby noticed and began to whisper amongst themselves. Isn't that in Tai Bai's direction? Sword Peak. Could it be a precious treasure is being born? Indeed, this phenomenon, it looks just like a precious treasure is emerging. Quick, let's go see. We can't let someone else get there first. An anomaly like this hasn't been seen in 100 years. This is definitely a great opportunity. At the center of the vortex, a sharp sword blade was slowly revealed, descending from above. Tai Bai stared blankly at the scene. Her eyes were lifeless. From Tai Bai's perspective, all she could see was a shimmering, otherworldly glow. Shauner, growing even more anxious, screamed out, "Big sis!" The sound snapped Tai Bai out of her trance. She reflexively turned to look at the little girl. Seeing her little sister standing there, safe and sound, she found a new surge of courage and spoke with resolve. "I can't die yet. I have to take care of Shan, and I have to find our sisters. And also, Master." Seeing this, Shauner struggled even harder, trying to reach Tai Bai. She cried out in anguish. The Heavenly Ape Sword Intent descended right where Tai Bai stood, causing a shockwave like an atomic bomb. Shauner turned her head. Gritting her teeth, she screamed, "You monsters! I'll make you pay." With a look of pure hatred, the little girl flew towards Khufu. Khufu, with a serious expression, gently waved her hand, sending Shauner staggering. The little girl lost her balance and accidentally slammed her face right into Khufu's generous chest. Her face was then completely buried in all that softness. Caught completely off guard, they both blushed at the same time. Shauner scrambled back in a fluster. Khufu said awkwardly, "Master, well." Meanwhile, Yibei was clearly enjoying the show. Khufu was speechless. Shauner stared as the girl with white rabbit ears and the person in the horse mask conversed. She had no idea what the three of them were talking about. This only made the little girl more wary. After a moment, the one in the horse mask leisurely walked over. He said gently, "Your sister drank herself into a stupor day after day. She's lost her will, her purpose. Has she forgotten her duty to the sect? Has she forgotten the great way of the sword? I have to beat some sense into her." Shauner couldn't stand it anymore and shouted back, "Don't you dare talk about my sister like that. In my heart, my sister is the best person in the world." Hearing this, he didn't seem to care, his voice low as he spoke. "In this world, if even I can't handle her, then I'm afraid no one can." Hearing his solemn tone, Sander bit her lip, confused. "Who is this guy? He talks so big." She asked worriedly, "What exactly did you people do to my sister? She's going to be okay, right?" Yibo looked at the terrifying mass of sword intent and said, "She's not going to die. If she can control and absorb that sword intent, it will be a massive opportunity for her." But before Tai Bai's condition was clear, a group of people rushed over. Sander recognized them and her heart sank. The patriarch of the Zhongsun family, and sect master Xiao, and the lord of Zhulong Mountain Manor too. These are all Saint King realm experts. What are we going to do? My sister hasn't woken up yet. And that boy, she glanced over and saw him tilting his head, looking completely unfazed. She said in a panic, "These are the most powerful figures in Luoguan City. Your two divine court realm subordinates are no match for them. How can you be so calm?" The lord of Zhulong Mountain Manor speculated, "Isn't that the master of the Tai Bai Sword Manor? It looks like she's refining some kind of treasure." Obviously, the Zhongsun family patriarch snapped. "Do you even need to say that? I saw it with my own eyes. Her cultivation went from the 7th level of the Saint King realm straight to half-emperor." Sect Master Zhao's eyes lit up with glee. "Gods above, a jump in power that fast is unheard of. It must be a treasure of the sword Dao." The lord of Zhulong Mountain Manor added, "If I can get my hands on that treasure, I might just find my path to becoming an emperor. This thing, we can't let her finish refining it. Let's move, now's our chance." The Zhongsun family patriarch tried to stop them. "Wait, are you trying to get yourself killed? Have you forgotten how strange things have been at the Tai Bai Sword Manor lately?" But greed had clouded the manor lord's judgment. He shot back. "That could have been a coincidence. Besides, with all of us here, if we attack together, who would dare to stand against so many of us? A representative from the manor shouted a warning. Our manor lord is in the middle of a profound enlightenment in the great Tao of the sword. At this moment, if anyone dares to take another step forward, they will be considered an enemy of the Tai Bai. Sword Manor, you will face the consequences. The lord of Zhulong Mountain Manor charged forward, his blade drawn, and sneered arrogantly. A mere 5th-level Divine Palace Realm cultivator like you dares to be so insolent. You really look down on us, don't you? Yu-san immediately stepped forward, her voice cold. I said, anyone who takes another step will face the consequences. Her powerful palm strike shattered the manor lord's sword and slammed into him, making him cough up blood. But it didn't stop there. The force of the palm continued onward, sending the entire group flying. The Zhangsun patriarch exclaimed in shock. This, a Divine Palace Realm cultivator, shouldn't be capable of a palm strike like that. She was definitely hiding her true cultivation level. Secmaster Xiao, stunned, added, this person is too strong. She has to be a peak Saint King realm expert, or maybe even a half-emperor. After sending them flying, Yu-san put on an innocent face and mumbled, I was only trying to take care of one of them, but I guess I didn't control my strength very well. I'll be sure to be more careful next time. Her words were a massive slap. The group roared in fury. What? Didn't control your strength well? Be more careful next time? Damn it. You think there's going to be a next time? Just then, the spiritual energy enveloping Tai Bai faded, revealing her figure. Feeling the immense pressure radiating from Tai Bai, they gritted their teeth bitterly. She actually raised her cultivation to the peak of the half-emperor realm. This woman, to have all of Luoguan's city in the palm of her hand, if she could just take one more step in this realm, she would reach the legendary Great Emperor realm. She was like a goddess of war, radiating a cold, brilliant light, her eyes opening to gaze upon all of creation. Seeing Tai Bai appear, Shar cried out with joy. Sister, Tai Bai descended, landing to shield Shar. She glanced back, a wave of relief washing over her. Thank goodness, San is okay. Then, she pointed her sword straight at eBay and demanded in a thunderous voice, I'll ask you one last time. Who in hell are you? He removed his mask, revealing his face, and said with a faint smile, Tai Bai, your master, was late. eBay taking off his mask left Tai Bai, utterly stunned. Master? No, that's impossible. Master passed away 300 years ago. Besides, you have the cultivation of a 7th-level condensing spirit expert. With my master's aptitude, he couldn't even break through the body-tempering realm. Suddenly, the sharp crack of a whip split the air. She glanced to the side, completely startled, and a little surprised. The god-striking whip? With the tension broken, Gufu peeked out from behind their master and said playfully, Senior Sister Chi, long time no see. Congratulations on finally breaking your shackles and being reborn. Yu-san chimed in with a tease. Senior Sister Chi, when Master scolds you in a bit, we won't be able to help you. Convinced that the man before her was indeed her master, her expression turned solemn, and she knelt before him. Disciple Chi Tai Bai pays her respects to Master. Looking at his disciple, he gently helped her to her feet. Tai Bai, you've suffered so much all these years. Seeing her master again, a tidal wave of emotions broke free. Tears of longing streamed down her face. She choked out 2 familiar words. Master, your disciple. I finally waited for you to come back. Seeing his disciple sobbing, he gently patted her shoulder. There, don't cry. If you keep crying, you'll break my heart. The clan leaders and sect masters froze, seeing the great Villa Master Tai Bai call this young man master. Master? Villa Master Tai Bai actually called that boy master? Another added in disbelief. My God, the master of a peak half-emperor expert. Just how terrifying must his power be? Witnessing their terrifying power, the 2 men in charge fell to their knees, begging for mercy. Your Majesty, we were wrong. Our Zhangsun family swears that from this day forward, we will serve Villa Master Tai Bai. One of them said, kowtowing repeatedly. Your Majesty, we were wrong too. We surrender. We'll serve you. A grim silence fell over the crowd as the Supreme One spoke. Silence. Seeing this, Tai Bai stepped forward and asked, You all came here. Did you plan on coming inside Tai by Sword Villa for a cup of tea? They stammered. Well, we. His face was colder than ice. His gaze, razor sharp. What's wrong? It seems you'd rather stay for a banquet before you leave. Before he even finished his sentence, the men were scrambling over each other to flee. Understood. Your Majesty. We'll get lost right now. The atmosphere quieted. Tai Bai seemed to have something difficult to say. Master, your disciple has a favor to ask. I was wondering if Master would. Before she could finish, he cut in. Speak. She quickly replied. In 3 days, a secret realm thousands of kilometers from here will open. I would like to ask Master to take Shara there for some training. Yi Bei was puzzled. Why don't you take her yourself? Are you afraid she'll become too dependent on you? I can also protect them from the shadows. There's no need to reveal myself. As she spoke, her gaze lowered. Master, it's not that I don't want to go. It's just that, under the circumstances, there's a force of natural law at play. Cultivators at the profound comprehension realm are simply unable to enter. The Shenluo mystic realm only opens once every 5 years. And each time, only 300 people are allowed inside. 100 years ago, when I was at the Half-Emperor realm, I tried to force my way in once. But I failed, turned back by the power of those rules. I'm afraid even a great emperor couldn't break through that barrier. He was puzzled. The power of natural law? She explained softly. Because of this, the 3 holy lands place immense importance on this mystic realm. Every time it opens, they use their quotas to send their best disciples inside. At this, her gaze softened. She pulled Shaner closer. But with a master as unparalleled as you, someone who is unbeatable by her side, it wouldn't be difficult for her to experience the world, she said confidently, speaking of Shaner. Besides, she knows how to take care of others. She'd be a great assistant for you, Master. After her convincing words, he agreed to take Shaner with him. 3 days later, I'll take the little one with me. She gave a warm smile. Thank you, Master. Shaner stood beside her, her face bright red, completely frozen. Did she just sell me out like that? Yi Bei was cultivating in the courtyard. A system notification appeared. Congratulations, host. Your cultivation has reached the profound comprehension realm. You have now successfully unlocked 5 cards. The host may choose one of these cards to begin refining. Refine. He made his choice. With a few quick, familiar movements, flashes of lightning appeared. This little spark, it's the legendary 4-9 Thunder Art. Entry level. A foundational technique of the cultivation world. Sparks of lightning began to envelop his body. His eyes were closed in a meditative posture. Even though this is the lowest level Thunder Art, in a cultivation world, its power in this mortal realm is definitely not to be underestimated. The sky turned a grim gray as lightning bolts multiplied and the wind howled. Dark clouds gathered overhead. The girls watched, stunned. Did Master do this? I can't believe Master caused all this. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen something so spectacular. With a deafening crash, a bolt of lightning struck, leaving the area in ruins. Seeing this, Shaner turned to Tai Bai, on the verge of tears. Sister, look at our house. Tai Bai simply replied calmly. It's fine. Isn't the bigger half still standing? She said, turning to Yushan. Besides, your big sister Yushan is here. She's a divine architect, you know. After a while, the sky returned to normal as the dark clouds slowly dissipated. A voice called out, Tai Bai, bring me some clothes. It was her master's voice. She quickly responded, Yes, Master. Seeing this, one of the girls turned and whispered to Yushan, I bet it's because of that Thunder Art. From just now. There's a good chance Master's clothes didn't survive. Yushan replied, Has to be. Tai Bai, holding his clothes, opened the door and stepped inside. Her eyes immediately fell upon his completely bare body. Naked. Her face turned so red that steam practically shot from her head as she screamed. Master! In stark contrast to her embarrassment, he was completely unfazed. A slight smirk played on his lips. His eyes held a hint of mischief. Why are you standing so far away? What's wrong? Afraid I'm going to eat you? Her face was as red as a tomato. She didn't dare look up at him, only managing to stammer. Master, your things. Yi Bei maintained his calm expression. He grabbed her hand. We haven't seen each other in several hundred years. Has Tai Bai grown so distant from her master? But he pulled too hard, causing her to stumble and fall toward him. His body went rigid. Even a guy like him gets flustered sometimes. Oh, this is bad. I got a little carried away. I really screwed up this time. Suddenly, a voice called out. Master, are you feeling better? I prepared the Mo Yafong pill for you. Tai Bai was instantly flustered. She stumbled forward clumsily. Sorry, master. I didn't mean to. In her flustered haste, their awkward position led to some unexpected contact. At that moment, his face was flushed red, every nerve on edge. Seeing the situation was getting out of hand. Whoa, hey, stop squirming. Oh, crap. She glanced over, and her eyes fell right on it. The awkwardness in the air became impossibly thick. Her lips trembled. Smack! The loud noise startled those waiting outside. Hearing the commotion, Yushan and Gufeng burst into the room. Senior sister. What happened? Their eyes were met with the sight of a completely bare Yibei, who had just been knocked to the floor. Both of them froze, their jaws dropping in shock. Faced with such a scene, everyone's faces turned beet red. Gufeng stammered. Master, senior sister, you two were. But Yushan, in her innocence, piped up. So this is what you two were doing, playing a game in here, and you didn't even invite us to play too? Realizing this was not a good situation, Gufeng quickly dragged Yushan back out the door. Master, senior sister, please carry on. We'll see ourselves out. Hey, what are you doing? Let's play with them. To break the unbearable tension, he turned away and quickly changed the subject. Tai Bai, go and find that little girl. Tell her to pack a few things. We're leaving soon. She quickly answered, her face still bright red. Yes. After that whole fiasco, he felt like he could die of embarrassment. I guess I can't be so reckless next time. Otherwise, the one who suffers is going to be me. In the middle of the courtyard, a large, magnificent vessel appeared. Everyone had gathered to see him and shone her off. Tai Bai walked up and handed him a spirit treasure. Master, this is a spatial spirit treasure. I've packed some daily necessities inside. Yibei replied with a gentle smile. Thank you for your thoughtfulness, Tai Bai. Yibei and Shaner boarded the ship. Well then, we'll be on our way. The three of them called out in unison. Have a safe trip. Some time later, the two of them stepped off the vessel. Shaner looked around, realizing this place was unfamiliar. This doesn't look like the entrance to the mystic realm. Yibei calmly replied. It's not. We haven't traveled the rest of the way on foot. The mystic realm here has already been activated, especially the airspace. The spatial fabric is unstable. If we're not careful, we'll be sucked into a turbulent rift. That will be a huge pain. Hearing his explanation, she understood. Oh, I see. From a distance, a man's voice called out. Excuse me, miss. Are you two lost? Three men appeared before them. One of them stepped forward to introduce himself. We're from the Tianqi sacred land. It's dangerous around here. You can travel with us to the mystic realm. Shauna replied coldly. Thanks, but we're fine. We can get there on our own. Seeing that they were from the Tianqi sacred land, Yi Bei glanced over, the corner of his mouth lifting into a slight smirk. The Tianqi sacred land, you say? Perfect. I haven't even made my move yet, and you've already delivered yourselves right to my doorstep. The man in the middle noticed his expression and spoke up. Meeting like this must be fate. Here, take this access token. After all, it's at least a half-day's journey from here to the mystic realm. Right now, if anyone gives you trouble, just show them this, and you'll be fine. Shaner was about to refuse. But before he could finish, the token was already in the master's hand, quick as a flash. Thanks. Well then, we'll take it. His sudden acceptance left the men flabbergasted. In that case, we thank the Tianqi sacred land for your assistance. They stood there caught off guard. Not at all. On the path of cultivation, we should all unite and help one another. It's only what's right. Well, we'll be on our way then. Good luck to you both. With that, the men departed, while Yi Bei looked on with a pensive expression. As soon as the three of them were gone, the young girl turned and said, So the outside world, it doesn't seem nearly as scary as I was told. There are plenty of kind, helpful people at least. Hearing his apprentice's words, the master's lips twitched into a wry smile. So, why do you think that man just came up to talk to you? Because he thought you were pretty? Just wanted to chat? Or because he genuinely wanted to take us to the mystic realm? That giving you the token was just an act of kindness? She looked confused. Well, wasn't it? Seeing her confusion, he continued. After all, we don't have any money. and our apparent strength poses no threat to them. He stopped, realizing with a sigh, asterisk damn it. This kid's already been swayed, asterisk. She's even defending them. The girl, still innocent and clueless, asked gently, Master, were you? As he spoke, he pointed at the token. Do you know what this is? With a few quick movements. Look, Shauner gasped in surprise. This is a map, a tracking formation, materialized before their eyes. A tracking formation. His eyes narrowed as he spoke slowly. In a place like this, where opportunities are limited, every extra person just means more competition. When he asked if you were lost, his real purpose was to probe us, to figure out what faction we belong to. He turned to Shauner with a stern glare. And what did you do? You went and told them we're unaffiliated. Realizing her mistake, she quickly bowed her head. I'm sorry. Master, I was wrong. I'll listen to you from now on, Master. Seeing that his disciple understood her mistake, he gently patted her head and began to patiently instruct her. Silly girl, you have to remember, this world is far more wicked and 1,000 times more corrupt than you can ever imagine. Shauner lowered her head, listening to her master's lesson. Yes, I'll remember your lesson, Master. Then a thought occurred to her. But, Master, if they already gauged our strength, why didn't they make a move back there? Hearing her question, Yi-Bei answered patiently, as a teacher would. With so many other factions watching, they were concerned with their so-called face, the reputation of their sacred land. They wouldn't make a move then. I'm sure they're just waiting for a better opportunity. Shauner asked, if that's the case, why don't we just throw this token away? What if they send people to make trouble for us? Hearing this, he let out a faint smirk. This is a good thing. This left Shauner thoroughly confused. A good thing? I'd be more worried if they didn't come looking for trouble. After a long walk, they finally arrived at the Mystic Realm. Nearby, the conversation of two men reached his ears. Once you enter the Mystic Realm, you can stay inside for 10 days. After 10 days, the realm will automatically eject anyone still alive. Remember that. Those 10 days will be over in a flash. Those holding Mystic Realm tokens will receive rewards of different tiers. The more tokens you have, the more valuable your reward will be. The young man replied, Yes, Senior. Elsewhere, two tall men were talking. I heard that for the last 100 years, the 3 great sacred lands have been trying to get their hands on all 100 secret realm tokens. But ever since the sunken Mystic Realm was discovered, no one has ever managed to collect them all. That's right. I've heard the same thing. Because once you gather all the secret realm tokens, not only can you completely take over the entire sunken Mystic Realm, but you also get the grandest prize this realm offers every 50 years. Hearing the whispers around him, he thought to himself, no wonder the Tianqi's sacred land didn't come looking for trouble with us. Turns out they're just waiting for the main event to start, letting others do the dirty work so they can swoop in and reap the rewards. First, they give us a token with a tracking seal. Then, they wait for us to enter the secret realm, find a chance to kill us, and take our tokens. That way, they protect their reputation and avoid offending any powerful backers we might have. I have to admit, it's a pretty foolproof plan. Sacred lands? Oh, sacred lands. Have you no shame? Hundreds of years have passed, yet your methods are still so crude. Shauner's voice cut through his thoughts. Master, what's wrong? Did you figure something out? Startled, he quickly replied, Well, wait a bit. At that moment, the gate to the secret realm began to creak open. It grew wider and wider. The crowd began to murmur amongst themselves. Is this it? Is it starting? Seeing this, Shauner spoke up. Master, let's hurry and go in too. His expression remained calm. He answered coolly, No rush. In a realm this massive, being a few minutes early or late makes no difference at all. Hearing this, she turned to him, her eyes filled with doubt. Master, what are you planning? 10 minutes later, the sacred lands gradually made their appearance, starting with the Jingyao Sacred Land, the Yi Sacred Land, and then Yi-Bei's group. Finally, the Tianqi Sacred Land arrived. Elder Yin of the Tianqi Sacred Land shouted, Move out. Whether we can claim the final prize this time all depends on you. The disciples of the Sacred Land roared in unison. Yes, sir. We obey. A line of disciples formed up and began to unleash their techniques. Streaks of brilliant green light shot back and forth. Elder Yan's voice boomed. Wenjie, stop, a disciple exclaimed. What the? His face was furious. His eyes blazed with rage. Damn it, Yi Bei and Shauna appeared. We'll be going on ahead. Hearing those words, the elder was enraged. He unleashed a vicious blast of green light. Get back here. A sharp, claw-like hand shot out, as if to grab him and Shauna. Seeing this, he turned back, his eyes filled with contempt. A smirk played on his lips. He flicked his hand, releasing a streak of red light. Fool! Then he and the girl shot into the air. Before leaving, Yi Bei flashed a provocative smile. Bye-bye. Enraged at being thwarted, Elder Yan's eyes grew even more ferocious. Bastards! The claw he had just launched was still in midair, right next to the realm gate. Suddenly, a powerful force repelled it, sending the elder stumbling backward. The onlookers started gossiping. Those two, just now, they've got some serious nerve to pull a fast one on a sacred land like that. And what's more, those two who ambushed them, one seemed to be at the 6th level of the Tongxian realm, and the other was only at the 1st level. When they come out in 10 days, they're dead for sure. A member of the sacred land spoke up. Who were they? Who the hell were those two? It's been hundreds of years since someone dared to take advantage of our heavenly lake sacred land. The blue-haired disciple spoke up, reporting to the elder. I met those two before. A few days ago, he began to recount what happened. It's fate that we met. Here, take this restriction token. It's at least half a day's journey to the secret realm from here. In the meantime, if anyone gives you trouble, just show them this and you'll be fine. Then we thank your heavenly lake sacred land for the help. He finished telling the story. That is what happened. This disciple would not dare to hide a single detail. The elder snatched the restriction token and examined it. Then he tossed the token to the others. They all quickly caught it. Absolutely infuriating. He was determined to hunt down the Supreme One and Yusan to the very end. This is a tracking jade. It holds the traces of those two. A woman's voice chimed in. Oh, Elder Yin, don't be so angry. As a favor to you, I will have my disciples deliver their corpses to you personally. But his rage was boiling over, and he was in no mood for any more nonsense. Out! Get out! All of you! From this moment on, do not speak to me. His eyes burned with fury, his brows furrowed in pure indignation. He thought to himself, the moment you two dare to show your faces outside, I will personally grind you to dust. Meanwhile, in a forest, the master and Sanner had arrived in the sacred land. Sanner was completely stunned by her master. My God, what kind of powerhouse am I actually following? Not only did he boldly attack the elite disciples of the sacred land and steal all their tokens, but he even dared to arrogantly provoke half-emperor of the heavenly lake. Noticing the dazed look on the girl beside him, he turned to her. Scared? She replied cheerfully, with Master here, I'm not scared. The two of them started to walk deeper into the forest. For a shameless sacred land like that, there's no need for us to be reasonable. Sanner chimed in, but we've barely been here a few days, and we've already offended the heavenly lake sacred land. They'll definitely never let us go. What are we going to do when we get out? Hearing the word offended, the master frowned. Offended them? They were the ones who were unjust first. So don't blame me for being ruthless. Besides, they're just a few half-emperors. Nothing to worry about. She was shocked to hear her master say that. A few half-emperors. And he just says, Master's words are just on another level. As they were walking, a giant golden snake suddenly appeared. She was terrified. Gah! She clung to him. Master, there's a giant snake over there. In contrast to her, he was completely calm. A heart-piercing mottled serpent. It's venomous. 3rd level of the profound connection realm. Fast. Attack power is mediocre. This kind of beast. What's so scary about it? With your strength, you could easily kill it. But the sheer size of the snake terrified her, and she clung to him tightly. She had a deathly fear of snakes. Seeing this, he cleared his throat and gave Sanner her first mission. All right, your first task for today is to kill this snake. If you don't, I'll leave you here. She immediately burst into tears. Why? Seeing her master's stern expression, she switched tactics and started pleading. Master, you're the best. Sanner is really scared of snakes. Faced with her teary, puppy dog eyes, his cold expression remained unchanged. Pouting won't work. Realizing it was no use, she reluctantly agreed, her face a mask of displeasure. It's just one stupid snake, right? I'll just kill it. But just as she was steeling herself to attack, the snake lunged forward, its massive mouth wide open, revealing rows of sharp fangs. A snake's tongue flickers. She was so terrified she reflexively jumped up and clung to his head, causing the snake to smack him right in the face. He was furious that his own disciple was so cowardly, and after pulling her off, he began to lecture her. What are you running for? Let me tell you something. This snake's attack power is nothing. But if it manages to coil its body around you, you're a goner. Regaining her composure, she steeled herself for battle. Yes. She drew her sword, which glowed with a faint purple light. All right then. This time I'm going to give it my all and make a good impression on the Grandmasters. Seeing this, the snake flicked its forked tongue and bared its sharp fangs, as if to mock her. She began to channel her power, her 2 fingers gliding lightly over the sword's blade. Azure Youth Sword Style, First Form. See Lotus Venom. Swish! The woman and the snake faced off. She leaped into the air and, with a single elegant slash, severed the head of the giant white snake. After decapitating it, she landed gracefully on the ground. The snake's massive head slammed into the earth not far behind her. A cloud of dust and debris billowed out, obscuring the area. With her first task complete, she cheered with delight. I actually killed a giant demon snake all by myself. I'm amazing. She turned to celebrate with him, but something shot past at incredible speed, slicing off a few strands of her hair. She knew it was him. Her cheeks puffed out in anger as she glared at him. Master, you. Perhaps wary of another surprise. He leaped effortlessly onto a high branch. Your lack of vigilance is astounding. I'll have to teach you a lesson on your senior sister's behalf. Annoyed by the Supreme One's attitude, she bristled. Why? I clearly killed that giant snake with my own power. Why, Master? Lost in her thoughts, she glanced back at the snake's severed head and gasped in surprise. This is... The Supreme One slowly began to explain. For an ordinary beast snake, the vital point is 7 inches below the head. But for a demon beast like this one, its life force is far more powerful than an ordinary beast's. You have to completely destroy its head to land a fatal blow. Realizing her mistake, she quickly looked down in shame. Oh, Sanar understands now. Sanar will be sure to remember this. God, that was so humiliating. The Supreme One walked over to the snake's head and pulled out a red orb. He held the orb out to her. Kid, take it. She accepted the red orb, which was covered in a thick slime. It felt disgusting in her hand, but she could sense a mysterious power radiating from within it. Ugh, this slimy thing is so gross. But it feels like there's some kind of mystical power inside it. Seeing her just standing there staring at it, he spoke. A demon beast of the profound, opening realm shouldn't have a demon core. Therefore, this must be a unique treasure of this mystic realm. Infuse it with your spiritual energy. You'll surely discover its secret. She replied, Yes, Master. She began to channel her power, holding the red orb to her chest as a faint pink aura radiated from her. The aura gradually enveloped the orb and flowed into her body. Profound Opening Realm, 7th stage. From the 6th stage of the Profound Opening Realm, she was overjoyed at breaking through to the 7th stage. I broke through. I went from the 6th to the 7th stage of the Profound Opening Realm without hitting a single bottleneck. Everything had gone just as he'd predicted, just as I thought. This is the fated opportunity hidden within this lost realm. Not only does it increase one's cultivation level, it also has the power to break through bottlenecks. Overjoyed, she turned to thank her master. Sanar thanks Master for this gift. He was actually being kind to me. It seems Master really does care about me. As soon as he found something good, he let me use it first. Suddenly, a cry for help echoed from deep within the forest. Help! Somebody please, save me. Hearing the cries, his eyes sharpened. Let's go. We'll check it out. She was stunned, realizing it could be a trap for them both. Master, this isn't some kind of trap waiting for us, is it? He scoffed, his voice turning cold. We've dealt with enough demonic beasts. I guess it's time for a change of pace. Hearing a cry for help, the two of them rushed over. An injured girl was pleading for help. Help me. Seeing this, she spoke up. Should we help her? It seemed he saw right through it. He smirked. A cold laugh escaped him. With a casual wave of his hand, a streak of green light shot straight toward the girl. Unlike just a few moments ago, the girl somersaulted away, dodging his attack as if she hadn't been hurt at all. She landed gracefully a safe distance away, turning to face them. She stood there, her words dripping with provocation. Well, hello there, handsome. I didn't expect someone so good-looking to have such a dark heart. No wonder you were the one who dared to steal all the tokens from everyone in the Heavenly Lake Holy Land. Recognizing the woman before them as an elite from the Outer Holy Lands, she was stunned. She's an elite from the Outer Holy Lands. But Master clearly eliminated everyone from the Heavenly Lake Holy Land already. How did this person find us? He recognized who was standing before them. He replied with disgust. Someone from the Star Brilliance Holy Sanctuary. What's the point of all this sneaking around? To deal with two cultivators of a lower rank like us. You still need to resort to a sneak attack? His words made her flush red with anger. A chilling aura surrounded her. To deal with two little brats like you? I could kill you with one hand. Sen-Ni felt a pang of shame for not realizing the woman was an enemy from the Outer Holy Land in disguise. I'm supposed to be the famous beauty of Luoguan City. So how'd I end up being so useless? I didn't even notice a whole group of them was hiding here. Sensing what the girl beside him was thinking, he spoke up. Little one, don't overthink it. Their cultivation realms are all higher than yours. It's perfectly normal that you didn't sense them hiding there. He added, besides, the Star Brilliance Holy Sanctuary skills and stealth are said to be the best among all the Holy Lands. His words only made her more embarrassed. Yes, Master, I'll remember. Without waiting any longer, the woman attacked. Streams of green light shot toward him and the girl. You're looking to die. Insulting the Star Brilliance Holy Sanctuary is a death sentence. Facing her attack, he remained completely unfazed, calmly turning to ask Sen-Ni a question. Little one, the Azure Youth Sword Style, 9th form. You know of it, right? Before he could finish, the blades of light were almost upon them. Master, the attack is here. His expression unchanged, he defeated the attack with just a few casual waves of his hand. Witnessing this, the hidden onlookers were completely stunned, and they wondered just who he was. Seeing that her previous attack was useless, the woman, apparently unafraid of death, clasped her hands together and unleashed another technique. Powerful streams of golden light erupted from her. She aimed the strongest blast directly at them. Seeing this, he lifted Sen-Ni into the air to dodge the attack. As he rose, he continued his lesson. Actually, your big sister probably never told you that the Azure Youth Sword Style's 9th form isn't meant to be performed alone. Below them, the people of the Star Brilliance Holy Sanctuary gave chase. Truly overestimating her own strength, she foolishly attacked him again, this time in midair. Let's see where you can run to now. Streaks of light shot toward them. I'll let you experience the Azure Spirit Sword Style, its true final form. Suddenly, a lotus flower materialized, blocking all the golden beams of light. He drew a long sword, and arcs of purple lightning crackled around the blade. Those present who witnessed this couldn't believe their eyes. What in the hell is that? That kid is only at the first stage of the profound connection realm, isn't he? This is impossible. That was a full power attack from a peak divine court realm expert. How could he have possibly broken through it? He and she joined forces, creating a massive circle of crackling purple lightning. They slammed it straight down onto the group below. The impact shook the very earth. When it was over, they landed back on the ground. Now, only faint traces of the Star Brilliance Holy Sanctuary disciples remained. Seeing the devastation, he asked softly, "Is that all?" He turned to his apprentice, his voice filled with concern. "Were you scared?" She felt a thrill of joy as her master spoke to her. "I can't believe Master is actually worried about me." She beamed and replied cheerfully, "Not at all. As long as you're here, Master, I'll be." But before she could finish, he cut her off. "Good. If you're not scared." He turned and gave her a task. "Then you can handle the bodies. And while you're at it, collect their tokens." She had just claimed to be fearless, but his request made her freeze on the spot. She was screaming internally, "Master, do I really have to? I'm actually terrified." He asked her coolly, "Is there a problem?" Seeing that her master wouldn't be swayed, she reluctantly agreed. "Yes, Master," she mumbled to herself as she worked. Master really doesn't have a gentle bone in his body. He watched her thoughtfully, a flicker of concern in his gaze. This girl, if I don't toughen her up, she's going to end up as nothing more than a pretty, useless decoration. A while later, having collected all the tokens and jade pendants. Master, I've collected all the Mystic Realm tokens and tracking jades. Seeing that the job was done, he offered a rare compliment. Girl, you might not be good at much else, but you're surprisingly good at cleanup. She was thrilled to receive his praise. Thank you for the compliment, Master. I, Shar, will work even harder next time. He encouraged her. It's good that you're so eager. But no sooner had the praise left his lips than his next words made her stiffen. In that case, from now on, all the post-battle cleanup is your responsibility. Keep up the good work, and, realizing her master had misunderstood, she quickly tried to explain. No, wait. Master, please let me explain. That's not what I meant. Master, wait up, she yelled, chasing after him. He stopped and activated a token. A map materialized, covered in green dots. She asked her master curiously, Master, why are there so many green dots this time? He answered swiftly, It must be that heavenly mandate half-emperor. He shared our tracking signature with the other two holy lands. Then, using some secret art, they managed to replicate this many tracking devices. She fumed with indignation. That's just outrageous. These holy lands are exactly like you said, Master. Utterly shameless. In contrast to her anger, he remained calm. It doesn't matter. In fact, this works to our advantage. She looked at him, surprised by his response. He said calmly, Because now, it's time for the hunter to become the hunted. A group of men gathered by a large tree, with two lookouts perched in the branches above. One of them called out, So this is where they're hiding. Be careful. That kid is treacherous. No matter how treacherous he is, he can't take all of us out. Everyone spread out, and try not to damage the bodies. The leader of the group announced. The elder wants their corpses brought back. The men responded in unison. Understood. As one of the men moved forward, his eyes landed on a token on the ground, and he jumped back in shock. He stammered. Oh no, it's a trap. He whirled around to warn the others. Fall back. Everyone get back now. She appeared out of nowhere. What kind of sorcery is this? How the hell did that kid know we'd be here tonight? A sudden realization hit him, and he whipped his head around. 3 of his comrades behind him were still oblivious. But sensing a shift in the air, they turned to look. One of them felt her dangerous presence. He spun around. She moved like a blur. Before he could even react, a blood-curdling scream echoed from within the ancient tree. In a flash, she had single-handedly taken care of them all. She stood proudly beneath their bodies, sword still in hand. My master is truly a genius. Thank goodness for his formation array. Dealing with this bunch was a piece of cake. After his disciple finished her task, he spoke softly. Kiddo, you don't have to deal with the bodies this time. Just loot everything. She replied, Yes, Master. 2 minutes later, once she finished gathering the spoils, he made a few simple gestures, and the corpses dissolved into puddles of water. Seeing how powerful the Supreme One's formation skills were, she thought about asking him for a few pointers. How convenient. So being a formation master is pretty powerful too. I wonder if I could learn formations first. Sensing the little girl's thoughts, he immediately shut them down. Don't even think about it. Formations aren't for you. His words hit her like a bucket of cold water. Master is great in every way, except for that sharp tongue of his. He's just way too blunt. The moment the battle ended, he was already urging her to move on. Let's go. The next one's about to start. Completely exhausted, she sighed. The next one? As they walked, she struck up a conversation. Master, we've already been to the second sacred land. Where are we even going? Hearing her question, he slowly answered. Just focus on using the spirit stones and raising your own cultivation level. Once your cultivation is high enough, you'll naturally understand everything. She flashed a bright smile and replied, Yes, sir. Master. No wonder he's my sister's master. His foresight is almost godlike. It's terrifying. Later, when the people from the XX sacred land returned, the area was completely empty. Where'd the rain go? As they stepped into the cave, a large golden circle appeared beneath their feet. The golden circle grew wider and wider. A massive formation array materialized. Realizing they had walked into the trap he and his disciple had set, they screamed in terror. Damn it! It's a trap! Fall back! Fall back now! He and his disciple stood at a distance, listening to the screams. A familiar scent. A familiar hunting method. Even the things they scream are exactly the same. How dull. He turned to his disciple. Go on, kiddo. At that moment, 3 complex formation patterns appeared vertically on a tree trunk. Behind them, standing on a branch, he waved as he watched her run off to claim their heads. He was confident she would complete the task quickly. Yes, Master, you're all so dead. After a short, fierce battle, she cheerfully picked up the command tokens, announcing her haul with excitement. Master, it's only been 3 days, and we've already collected 76 Mystic Realm tokens. Let's hurry and find the last 24. His expression remained unchanged as he calmly replied. No rush. For the next few days, I just want you to use the crystal's power and focus on raising your cultivation. He tossed a Mystic Realm token in the air and said to her, the remaining 24? Once your cultivation has improved, we'll go find them then. Yes, I'll do whatever you say, Master. After collecting the tokens, she found a corner to cultivate, and he, too, began his own meditation. 4 days later, his face darkened, his fierce eyes striking terror into his opponents. Answer my question, hand over the tokens, and I'll let you live. Seeing their reluctance, she let out a cold snort, her glare as sharp as a blade. The 2 men were scared witless. We'll give them to you. The moment they handed over the tokens, they scrambled to get away. Spare us, great hero. She wondered aloud, a bit surprised. Was I really that scary? They ran off in an instant. Not thinking too much about it, she turned to him with a cheerful smile. This is great, Master. Including what we got today, we've collected all 100 tokens. I wonder what kind of treasure we'll be able to get for them once this is all over. Speaking of which, an idea sparked in her mind. I heard that some treasures can have a special reaction when you put them all together. They might even merge into a single item, the most precious of them all. Do you think these trial tokens could do the same? He pondered for a moment. Worth a try. With a wave of his hand, the tokens flew into the air. In an instant, they merged into one, a massive, purple sphere crackling with lightning. Seeing this, he realized something was terribly wrong, and his eyes widened in alarm. This is bad. If this keeps up, something's going to happen. Sensing impending disaster, he created a ball of blue light. With a single motion, he launched it toward the massive purple orb. But instead of damaging it, the attack only made the purple sphere shine even brighter. He fell into a grim silence. Sensing that something was wrong, she turned and called out to him. Master. He watched as her form began to fade. Startled, he reached out to grab her, but he was a step too late. Kid. She vanished from the secret realm. It seems activating the tokens affected the system. Crap. I must have triggered some kind of mechanism. It ended the trial early, and now the laws of this place are ejecting all the survivors. The most important thing is Shauna has been sent outside. Damn it. The 3 great sacred lands and several other powers are waiting outside. They've been waiting for a while. If that girl was sent out there all by herself, I can't even imagine what will happen. There was no time to waste. He squeezed his eyes shut and connected with the secret realm system. System, how do I get out of this secret realm right now? Congratulations, host, for successfully collecting 100 secret realm tokens. As a reward, you have gained ownership of the entire secret realm. Hosts need only focus on successfully refining the secret realm, after which you will not only be able to leave, but you can also carry the entire secret realm with you. Blue sparks crackled from his hands. His face grew taut with rage. Who the hell has time to care about a reward right now? If anything actually happens to that kid, I'll never be able to face Old 4 for the rest of my life. A surge of blue energy erupted around him. Besides, even if she wasn't Old 4's little sister, just based on these last 7 days, after all the time she's called me Master, I'd still have to give everything I have to save her. Outside, the gate to the secret realm flashed with light. The survivors were returning. Most of them wore dazed expressions. Everyone was wondering the same thing. Why are you all out already? Wasn't the trial supposed to end in another 3 days? The returning disciples all gave the same answer. Master, someone stole all the secret realm tokens. Elder, my tokens were stolen too. It was a kid, first level of the profound opening realm. Clan leader, my tokens were also stolen by a young man at the first level of the profound opening realm. Shauna was also ejected. Spotting her, an old man's face twisted in rage as he charged forward. Shauna jumped, startled by his approach. He rushed in front of her, his eyes blazing with a fury so intense it looked like he wanted to devour her whole. Oof, you damn brat. I finally got my hands on you. Without another word, his hand shot out, clamping around her throat and lifting her into the air. Talk. Where's that boy? Is he still inside? His grip was so tight her face began to turn red from lack of air. I'm so dead. Why was I so stupid? Why on earth did I have to suggest that moronic idea to Master? Her eyes widened in sheer panic. I'm such a blockhead. I did this to myself. I really dug my own grave this time. Getting no answer, the old man grew even more furious, his grip tightening on her neck. Huh, not talking, are you? Then die. With a last bit of air, she managed to gasp out a few words. Because I'm a half-emperor's. The man paused for a fraction of a second. A half-emperor's little sister? But the pressure on her throat didn't lessen, and his eyes remained murderous. Fine, I'll kill you first. Then I'll go deal with that half-emperor senior sister of yours. A half-emperor expert? At my level, they're hardly a threat. She clawed at his arm, struggling desperately to break free. With her breath running out, she managed to gasp. My sister is the Manor Lord of Tai Bai, Sword Manor in Luoguang City. She's at the peak half-emperor realm, and my sister's master, right before we came to the mystic realm, just broke through to the great emperor realm. The moment he heard Tai Bai Sword Manor, the old man froze for a few seconds. What? Hearing this, the onlookers stared in utter disbelief. Her sister is a peak half-emperor, and her master is a great emperor? Oh my God! With a background like that, she could do whatever she wants in any of the sacred lands. Even the old man was skeptical, turning to a man nearby. Old Moo, do you think she's telling the truth? The man stammered. Well, seeing this, another man spoke up. Lord Half-Emperor, I am from Luoguang City. I can verify it. What this woman says is true. Another man chimed in. That's right. Everyone in Luoguang City knows about it. His mind flashed back to that day. The sight was truly terrifying. Dark clouds blotted out the sky. Lightning struck down relentlessly. 10 days ago, a heavenly phenomenon appeared over Luoguang City for 3 straight days, and all of it originated from Tai Bai Sword Manor. At that, the old man yanked his hand back. He dropped her to the ground. Damn, that was close. I almost caused a catastrophe. If I had actually killed this brat today, that peak half-emperor and the great emperor would have definitely come hunting me down. The consequences would have been far more severe than losing 20 Mystic Realm tokens. Softening his tone, he asked her, What's your relationship with that boy? She answered, still gasping for air. He's my senior brother. He grew quiet, pondering this. Senior brother. She greedily sucked in air, trying to catch her breath. That's right. No matter what, I can't reveal Master's true identity. He warned me. He said he'll deal with these half-emperors after the Mystic Realm trial ends. I can't be reckless. Besides, it seems like this half-emperor isn't going to attack me anymore. Looks like I just have to wait for Master to come out. Meanwhile, inside the Mystic Realm, he was racing against time. He had to get out there and save her. System, at my current speed, what's the fastest I can completely refine this? At best, it will take a full day. He froze. By the time I get out, she might just be a corpse. What? A whole day? By the time I get out of here, won't she be a goner? The thought made him even more anxious for her safety. Even if that little brat is clever enough to stall them for a while, there's no guarantee. They won't eventually make a move. He pulled out a red spirit pill. There's no other way. It's come to this. Time to go all or nothing. The moment he swallowed it, his eyes began to glow. Sparks of energy erupted around him. Refined. Gradually, the sparks swirled and grew into massive vortexes of fire. Little girl, wait for me. Back at the gate, a familiar light began to glow. Could it be? Is someone else coming out? The light grew brighter, signaling the exit of the final participant from the Mystic Realm and the end of the trial. The crowd was stunned. It's over? No way. It's only been 7 days. Shouldn't there be 3 days left? Someone looked around frantically. Wait, where are the people from our sacred land? Why hasn't a single one of our people come out? All that's left at the gate are wisps of purple light. Even the last survivors are gone. Damn it. What's going on? Where's the Shinla Mystic Realm? He frowned, bewildered. This place. When the world happened here, his gaze shifted to where Shonner had been. He started. Just a moment ago, she was right there. Now she's gone. Where did that little wench go? Seeing this, his disciple spoke up. She must have taken advantage of the distraction and used a secret art to escape. Old Man Yan's face flushed with rage. The nerve to dare and slip away right under my nose. Furious, he unleashed an attack. It seems I'll have to break your legs to make you stay put. He formed a crimson dot of energy and shot it after her. Streaks of red light pursued her deep into the forest. Hearing the sound, she turned to see the crimson dot closing in. As it neared, the dot exploded. The blast threw her to her knees. Pain shot through her entire body. I guess I'm still too weak. I used all my strength, risked my life to escape, only to be caught so quickly. Overcome with frustration, she screamed, I swear, if I can just escape this place today, I will dedicate myself completely to my cultivation. A pillar of light descended upon her. A sudden flash. She slowly opened one eye. It was her master. Overjoyed, she called out, Master. He glanced down at her and spoke. Silly girl, remember what you just said. Cultivate diligently. Seeing him again, she was overcome with joy. Master, you made it out of the mystic realm. His eyes widened as he looked down. His gaze fell upon the handprint bruised on her neck. Seeing his disciple hurt, his heart ached. Little one, I'm sorry I let you suffer. Seeing him, a heavy weight lifted from her heart. As long as Master is here, Shauner has nothing to worry about. In his arms, all her fear vanished. Besides, Master's embrace is so comforting, so warm. His arms seemed to tighten around her, inside the airship. She was surprised when he took out a ring and offered it to her. This is, he said as he handed it to her. Tell your senior sisters to use the energy crystals inside this ring to quickly raise their power levels. He slipped the golden ring onto her finger as he spoke. The moment he finished, he left her and slammed the door shut. Seeing this, she rushed to the door and shouted, No, Master, what about you? As he spoke, he cast a spell to send the airship on its way. You go on ahead. With you here, I can't fight with my full strength. The ship rose into the sky and gradually vanished. From a distance, Old Man Yin rushed forward. Try to run. Get back here. Seeing him approach, the master turned. He began to cast a spell. His eyes turned pure white as violet lightning crackled, and a purple orb of energy formed around him. Multi-dimensional lightning punishment. The colored lightning grew more intense, engulfing him completely. The battle had officially begun. The two sides clashed, unleashing their techniques. From the airship, she watched her master fight alone. Master, you have to wait for Shauner. Wait for me to get back to Tai Bai. Sword Manor. I'll immediately tell my senior sisters to come help you. After the battle, the surrounding trees were all flattened. Old Man Yin hovered in midair, speaking coolly. Young man, it seems you found quite the opportunity in that mystic realm. To go from the first level of the Tongxian realm all the way to the ninth. Strands of his disheveled hair obscured his face. His expression was completely unreadable. Seeing this, the old man mistook it for fear and grew even more smug. As he spoke, the old man's eyes glinted menacingly, and he gritted his teeth. Well, should I be congratulating you? He shot a calm look in his direction. So you're the one who was bullying my girl. Unafraid, the old man gave a sinister smile. So what if I was? If I got my hands on her, I'd have torn her to shreds. Did you really think that just because you have a half-emperor for a sister and a great emperor for a master, you could afford to offend us, the 9 great sacred lands? At his words, the young man's expression darkened as he began to channel his energy. A ball of purple lightning materialized in his hand. Suddenly, a flash of light and a plume of smoke erupted in the forest. The old man froze, stunned by his power. What was that? A communication talisman? Or some kind of secret treasure? Whoosh, a beam of light shot straight at the old man. What? The old man cried out in shock. He collapsed to the ground. He struggled back to his feet. Impossible. My spiritual energy, my power of the great Tao, it's all gone, vanished in an instant. Before he could even process it, a rope shot out and coiled around him. The rope tightened, constricting him. What? From the distance, the young man emerged. With a powerful tug, he slammed the rope down with all his might. The old man's body slammed hard into the ground. With a blinding flash, the bedrock underneath him shattered into 1,000 pieces. After smashing the old man into the ground, he hovered in the air, looking down at the shattered earth, utterly broken. Suddenly, a group of people appeared. You're despicable. If you got any guts, fight our elder in a fair, one-on-one duel. He shot them a look and sneered. No need to rush. Once I'm done with this old geezer, you're all next. Even after that devastating blow, the old man's mouth was still running. Damn it, let me go if you dare. He looked at the old man and scoffed. Sorry, no guts. The old man couldn't take it anymore and screamed. Matron Mu, Elder Chun, what are you all standing around for? Startled by Elder Yan's shout, the other two exchanged a nervous glance. Their expressions grew incredibly tense. Seeing them hesitate, the old man screamed a threat. If I die here, I swear my ghost will never let you rest. Spurred into action, the two of them unleashed their attacks. But they were instantly repelled. Everyone there was stunned. They couldn't even scratch that massive black coffin. Just how tough is this thing? Even two half-emperors at full power can't break through it. Just what kind of divine art is this? The two attackers were just as shocked, wondering what kind of sorcery this was. How is this possible? The leader roared. Everyone attack. I don't believe it. There's so many of us. We can't even crack this damn turtle shell. Inside the barrier, he remained perfectly calm, watching the fools outside waste their energy. Elder Yin was now drenched in a cold sweat. He's had countless chances to kill me, but he hasn't. He's just been toying with me. You damn brat. Just you wait. When I recover, I'll tear you to shreds. Outside, the men who had been attacking the barrier were completely exhausted, all for nothing. The entire group was panting for breath. Damn it. Even with all of us attacking at full power, we couldn't even put a dent in it. One man, drenched in sweat, gasped for air. Forget it. This kid is too strong. All he can do is destroy Elder Yan's physical body. The divine soul of a half-emperor, a master of his caliber, is not so easily destroyed. Besides, inside that thing, it seems like there's some kind of sealing power at work. He spoke with a cold finality. Time's up. His face turned grim. He drew his sword. Seeing this, the old man asked in terror, What in the hell do you want? Whoosh! With a single strike, the old man's head flew from his body. The path of the blade was nearly invisible. Only by looking at his sword hand could one tell he had just swung his blade, severing the old man's head. Seeing him mercilessly behead the elder, the other's jaws dropped. Is this kid insane? He actually did it. He killed him. Another man quickly agreed. Doesn't he know this isn't just about killing a half-emperor? He's also asking for endless trouble, a total disaster. His work done, he landed calmly on the ground. A green light began to glow from the old man's severed neck. The elder's soul shot out. It tried to escape the barrier, but it was no use. The soul's face slammed hard against the barrier, contorting in pain. He cried out in disbelief. What? I can't get out. The crowd outside stared, completely stunned. This black coffin, it can actually trap a soul. Holy shit. What kind of heaven-defying power is this? And he's only the Tongxian realm. Yet he can butcher the physical body of a half-emperor. Who the hell is he? The old man's soul began to zip around him, shrieking. You damn brat. You dare destroy my body. I'm a soul now. None of your attacks can hurt me. Isn't that a shame? The old man taunted him. Unless you can reach the saint realm, you can't do a damn thing to me. Thinking himself clever, he sneered. That little black coffin trick of yours, isn't it about to fade away? The moment that coffin disappears, I'll immediately capture you with my bare hands. And then, tired of the noise, he lashed out, striking the soul hard across the face. He spoke with disgust. So noisy, the old man froze in utter disbelief. This, impossible. How can you? Outside, the onlookers started shouting again. Kid, I advise you to let him go. He is the direct disciple of the nether ghost great emperor of the Tianqi Holy Land. If you really kill him, not even your own master will be able to protect you. That's right. Release our elder, and we guarantee that after the black coffin vanishes, we absolutely will not lay a hand on you. What a bunch of idiots. Do they really take me for a fool? Or do they think I'm brainless? The look in your eyes says you plan to kill me no matter what. But the ignorant fools kept running their mouths. We guarantee we'll let you go. Hearing this only added fuel to the fire of his rage. Let me go. Somehow, I find that hard to believe. He whipped the chain with all his might, slicing the old man's soul in two. The men outside froze, sweat pouring down their faces like rain. He actually dared to kill a half-emperor, and he even annihilated his soul. The group fell into grim thought. Someone in the Tongxian realm who can kill a half-emperor. If we let a person like this continue to grow, he'll undoubtedly become a massive threat to the 9 great holy lands. Elder Chun considered this. Exactly. You can tell just by looking at him that this kid holds a grudge. After all, we sent so many people into the secret realm to hunt them down. Suddenly, he remembered something. Wait a minute. He yelled out a question. Kid, the cultivators, our Starfall holy land, sent into the secret realm. Did you kill them all? While they were shouting, he casually pulled a ring from the old man's corpse. You're only just figuring that out? I'm afraid this half-emperor of yours was a little slow on the uptake. The man clenched his fists tightly. His rage boiled over. The other disciples were furious at his actions. You bastard. Put that down. That belongs to our holy land. Seeing their anger, he only provoked them further. Well, he was a half-emperor. He must have had some good stuff on him, right? In that case, he was emptying the ring. His eyes hardened with resolve. So, he's taking every last thing. Seeing his blatant plundering, the others were boiling with rage. They ground their teeth in fury. The system interface appeared. Host, the black coffin will disappear in 90 seconds. Please be mindful of the time. As a final act of mercy, he warned them. All of you listen up. I'm giving you one chance. If you don't want to die, get the hell out of here right now. Otherwise, you'll regret it. And by then, it'll be too late. But as always, fools won't know fear until they're facing death. They still dare to challenge him. You're about to die, and you're still talking tough? If you've got the guts, then make your move. The second this black coffin vanishes is the second you die. I don't believe it. There's no way a puny, profound connection realm cultivator like you could defeat 2 half-emperors and over 10 Saint Kings. He began the countdown. 4, 5, 6. Hearing this, the leader of the Red Lotus Holy Land paled and immediately decided to back out. Everyone, my sincerest apologies. My Red Lotus sect just remembered we have urgent matters to attend to. Seeing this, the others also scrambled to leave. Us too. Only the blockheads remained, ready to fight him. You're all a bunch of cowards. This kid is obviously just bluffing. I bet that after the black coffin disappears, he'll be the one running for his life, with his tail between his legs. He calmly waited for the final seconds to tick by. 10. Finally, with every passing second, the killing intent in his eyes grew sharper. I was going to spare your worthless lives, but you fools just had to throw my kindness back in my face and choose death. The final countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoosh. The black coffin vanished, and the final hour for those ignorant fools had arrived. They charged forward to challenge him. He looked at the little brats and smirked. You asked for this. He spread his hands, weaving a spell. A purple array materialized in the air. The men froze, their eyes wide with shock. A phantom materialized behind the leader, wrapping its arms around him. He broke out in a cold sweat. What is this feeling all around me? What is this? A green mist enveloped the area. A scream pierced the air. Run. The ignorant men instinctively turned to look, but it was already too late. His face darkened. His eyes blazed with purple light. Lightning crackled around his body. He thrust out his hand, and a bolt of lightning slammed into the earth. Kaboom! An earth-shattering explosion erupted. From within the blast, peach blossom petals appeared out of thin air. The sheer force of the explosion threatened to tear everything apart. Arcs of powerful lightning flashed violently. The remaining men were thrown to the ground. The leader, his face a mess of cuts and bruises, struggled to look up. What in God's name is this divine ability? I fear even an attack from a great emperor wouldn't be this terrifying. One of the disciples spoke, his voice trembling. No wonder that kid dared to kill a half-emperor. No wonder he was so calm and fearless the entire time. He was planning to use this terrifyingly powerful technique to take us all down with him from the very beginning. His face twisted in agony as sweat poured down his brow. This kind of man is an absolute monster. Elsewhere, the red lightning gradually faded. The air was now scarred with spatial cracks. He appeared to be injured. His face contorted in pain. Damn it. I can't even muster a shred of spiritual energy right now. The system prompt appeared. Host, although you used a medicinal pill, to successfully refine the core of the secret realm within 2 hours. Your cultivation also skyrocketed from the 1st to the 10th level of the profound connection realm. As a result, The meridians in your body have ruptured. You are unable to use your spiritual energy. He leaned against a tree. Forget spiritual energy. Right now, I can barely even move. His expression turned grim as a faint purple light emanated from his fingertips. But if I stay in this desolate place with such thin spiritual energy, it'll take an eternity for my body to recover. He instinctively reached out, and a small portal opened before his hand. I have to find a way. I need to get out of here and absorb the spiritual energy of the outside world to heal. He looked up, startled. Inside was another space, pitch black. Damn it. Is there anywhere out here that can absorb energy? He was pretty sure. Which means I must be in a turbulent dimension. He sat down and began to count the spirit stones he had collected. I guess you could call this a success for now. Right now, all I can do is rely on these spirit stones to recover slowly. Beneath his hand, a pile of blue spirit stones glowed faintly. A day later, the flying ship returned to Tai Bai, Sword Manor. Everyone was stunned to see the ship return. Master's back. That's not right. The sunken labyrinth mystic realm hasn't even been open for 8 full days. The girl next to him also found it strange. Yeah, wasn't it supposed to last for 10 days? The ship touched down. Everyone was shocked to see it return so soon. What's going on? Seeing this, Tai Bai stepped forward to check. Standing before the ship's door, she called out, "Master, are you in seclusion?" Hearing Tai Bai's voice, Sanner rushed out, calling, "Sister." Tai Bai froze. Inside, Sanner was sobbing. "Sister, sister." She looked around but couldn't see their master anywhere. Shan? It was only then that she realized. Wait a minute. Where's master? From inside, Sanner cried out between sobs. "Senior sister, this ship has been forcibly locked from the outside. Yushan knew just by looking at it. Judging by this technique, master must have been the one who did it." Kung-Fu sensed that something was very wrong. This is bad. Master must be in trouble. And it's not just some small trouble. That's why he sent Sanner back to Tai Bai, Sword Manor, while he himself couldn't return. Kachunk. Tai Bai forced the door open. The moment it opened, Sanner rushed out and threw herself into Tai Bai's arms. She sobbed. "Fourth sister, it's all my fault. I'm the one who led Master into a trap. It's because of me that he's in danger." She patted her back. Shan, little sister, don't cry. Tell us what happened first, then you can cry." A few minutes later, after she had recounted the events, Sanner's eyes were swollen and red. "And that's what happened. Sister, it's all my fault. I dragged Master into this." Hearing Sanner's story, a fire of rage ignited within her. A murderous look filled her eyes. "The Jianxi sacred land. Damn you all, I will never forgive you. You 3 great sacred lands, you just wait for me. I'm going to come and slaughter every last one of you. How dare you touch my master? How dare you touch my master?" A sinister smile spread across her face. Jianxi sacred land. Very good. With that, she and Sanner boarded the ship to return to where Yibei was. She turned to Shan. "Sanner, after Master sent you away, did he leave any instructions?" At her own question, she paused to think. Knowing Master's personality, he always considers the bigger picture in everything he does. He would have left a way out for us. After a moment of thought, Sanner remembered. "Oh, yes. Master did say something." With that, she handed Tai Bai the ring Yibei had instructed her to give them. "Master told me to give this to you sisters." Sanner relayed his message to everyone. Master said, to use what's inside to train hard, and wait for his return. Everyone gasped in surprise. "What?" Hearing this, Kung-Fu and Yushan froze, breaking out in a cold sweat. Master really said that? Seeing their reaction, Sanner was confused. Kung-Fu turned and whispered to Yusan, "Senior sister, Master told us to go back and train hard. So, should we go find him now? We won't get." Even Tai Bai's face paled, his hands trembling slightly. "We're almost there. So what if we get scolded?" They arrived to find the place completely devastated. A massive crater had appeared. Shar, confused by the sight, spoke up. "Just yesterday, everything was fine. How did it suddenly turn into this?" Tai Bai knew with a single glance that Yi Bo was responsible. Master must have used a forbidden technique. Seeing this, Shatter's jaw dropped. "Oh my god, Master did all this? That's terrifying." Yusin scanned the area for a moment before speaking. "Let's go." "I've scanned the area. There are no signs of life nearby." Hearing this, Shatter turned to ask Tai Bai, "Senior sister, So we're not going to look for Master? What if Master is Kufu cut-in? Little sister, you're seriously underestimating our Master. A scene like this? Master could create it with a wave of his hand, remembering the Supreme One's instructions. We should listen to Master. Let's go back and train hard. He might even come back in a few days to test our progress. At this, Yusan nodded in agreement. That's true. Master was just revived. He probably wanted to get out and stretch his legs and blow off some steam. Even Tai Bai glanced over and added, makes sense. Char, not quite understanding, just went along with it. Okay then, the turbulent void. Here, streams of light swirled around him. He sat in meditative cultivation. He gripped a glowing stone tightly in his hand. After a long time, his body had only recovered slightly. I've already used up all the spirit stones from those half-emperor heavenly pawns in the last few days. But the damage to my meridians is only 10% healed. His face was a mask of exhaustion. Looks like I'll have to find another way. I need to get out of this turbulent space, and fast. It wasn't easy coming back to life. How can I, the Great One, waste my time in a place like this? He turned to look at a deep black void. This is it. He began to cast a spell, and purple lightning crackled into existence. The bolts multiplied. A terrifying purple light flared in his eyes. 10,000 thunderstrikes. He unleashed all his power, shattering the black wall. Just a little more. A flash of light. After all that effort, he finally escaped the secret realm. Finally, I'm out of that damn place. But his relief was short-lived as he looked around. To his shock, he found himself in freefall. Holy shit. This is... Shaking it off, he calmly assessed the situation. Don't panic. With my body's current strength, even without a spiritual energy shield, at most, I'll just be slightly injured. Crunch, he landed hard. The fall hurt like hell, but he tried to reassure himself. I'm already severely injured anyway. What's a little more pain? Enduring the ass-kicking pain? He consoled himself. I just need to find a chance to cultivate and heal up later. After the fall, it took him some time to recover. 2 days later, he'd recovered about half his spiritual energy. The condition of his meridians was also starting to heal at a faster rate, but he'd only regained a little of his physical strength. Sitting up was no longer a problem, but walking was still a bit of a challenge. As he was recovering, voices echoed from the distance. Woman, did you really think you could escape from us? In the distance, a young woman flew past. 3 men were hot on her heels. They shouted as they gave chase. The entire boundless void celestial realm is hunting for people from your benevolence hall. You should just surrender quietly. Stop wasting your breath. It's not every day we find a proprietor like you. They're right on my tail. If we can take her alive, then we can get our hands on that saint-level cultivation manual. Hearing their relentless pursuit, the woman gritted her teeth, pushing herself to go even faster to stay ahead of them. Hearing them, he froze, his recovery coming to a dead halt. Rin Tang, could it be? It's her? The 3 scoundrels taunted her. Little beauty, don't run away. Don't worry, we'll be gentle with you. Disgusted, she made a silent vow. If I can't escape today, even if I die, I will not bring shame upon my master. As if reading her mind, he spoke. Over here, I promise you won't die. Hearing his voice, she turned to look at him. Their eyes met. He said gently, come here. As if guided by instinct, she kicked off a tree trunk, changing direction. She veered sharply, flying toward him. Seeing her approach, he asked, Rin Tang? Practitioners of the medical Tao. Exhausted from the chase, she answered breathlessly. Yes. He continued. Do you know Bai Yuling? She replied quickly. His eyes were almost completely fixed on her ample chest. He only vaguely heard what she was saying. Founder Bai is the one who established our Rin Tang. She is also our greatest physician. A slight smile played on his lips as he thought to himself. Huh, a silver lining on a very dark cloud. To think I'd stumble upon a clue about my 99th disciple. But if she's around here, and even opened her own hall, then why hasn't she contacted her sisters all these years? Turning to see the men right behind them, she quickly hid. Behind eBay. There. They're here. The 3 men were as arrogant as ever. Running, huh? Why'd you stop? Terrified, she clung to his arm, hiding behind him. One of them spoke up. You think finding some kid at the 3rd or 4th level of the profound opening realm is going to save you? The fat one let out a wicked laugh. You should just give up the fight. Be a good girl and come to us. That's right. as long as you're obedient. The three of us promised to be gentle. He found them utterly repulsive, but reigned in his anger, speaking calmly. I wonder if you've ever heard the saying, that heaven sees everything you do? That evil will be repaid with evil? That good will be repaid with good? It's not that retribution isn't coming. It's just that the time has not yet come. Those guys were still, utterly confident. You, a half-crippled loser like you wants to play hero and save the damsel in distress. The tallest one burst out laughing. What a joke. His eyes turned sharp as he raised a single finger to the sky. Like right now. Can't you feel it? Someone up there is watching you. The three men looked up, following his finger, as a bolt of lightning struck one of them down. The other two could only stand and stare, their jaws dropped. The sky is completely clear. So how did a bolt of lightning just strike down out of nowhere? And that lightning, it was way too powerful. They turned and shouted in his face. You, was that your doing, you bastard? Suddenly, another bolt struck the man standing beside him. Seeing this, the last man panicked and fled without looking back. Gah, it's a demon. But how could he possibly let him go? Oh, right. There's one more thing I forgot to tell you. That same sinister smile returned. When you get that feeling that maybe you just run into a demon, don't doubt yourself. Because you're absolutely right. Before he could get far, the other man was taken down too. Watching it all happen, she was terrified, wondering just who this man could be. This young man's aura is clearly weak. And yet, he didn't move an inch. He killed 2 divine court realm masters in the blink of an eye. Once it was over, he turned to look at her. She quickly bowed. This junior is the manager of the 5th branch of Renren Hall. Luo Xian. Thank you for saving my life, senior. He looked her in the eye. Tell me everything about your president. From beginning to end. Don't leave out a single word. Her expression fell. Yes, senior. Deep in the verdant forest, she sat and began to tell him the entire story. 300 years ago, when President Bai was hiding from those sacred lands, her identity was discovered. The Heavenly Lake Sacred Land captured her, even though the president never joined them. As she spoke, her face filled with sorrow. For a full 100 years, she was kept under house arrest in the Heavenly Lake Sacred Land. She never took a single step outside. Startled, he turned to look at her. She continued, lost in the memory. By the 150th year, after the president had slowly gained their trust, the Heavenly Lake Sacred Land finally agreed to let her find a few medical talents within the Chongshu domain. However, a powerful female expert of the Saint King realm was always monitoring her. After 250 years of patient endurance, the president finally established Renren Hall. She developed it in secret, silently building it into a powerful organization. In addition, she sent people to search relentlessly for the path of resurrection. His expression hardened, his eyes narrowing, searching relentlessly for the path of resurrection. Noticing his strange reaction, she paused. Senior, are you? He held up a hand. Continue. She went on with the story. After that, the president had 50 years of stable development. Then just a few dozen days ago, she finally broke through to the Saint Realm. But unexpectedly, the second holy son of the Heavenly Lake Sacred Land suddenly made a request to the Heavenly Lake Saint King. He wanted the president to be married to him. But how could the president possibly agree? So she immediately notified everyone in Renren Hall to rebel and escape the Chongshu domain at full speed. At the same time, she had several people take the news to other domains, trying to spread the word as far as possible. With the situation so dire, the president gave her a mission. Take this prescription to Renren Hall. They'll know what to do. Her voice grew heavy, and she said, in 15 days is the wedding day. The president told her confidants that she would rather die than marry into the Heavenly Lake Sacred Land. The moment she finished speaking, a brilliant flash of energy shot out. It tore the earth in two. She stumbled back, her face etched with fear. Senior, are you all right? His face was a mask of cold fury. Heavenly Lake Sacred Land. You people are truly shameless, imprisoning my disciple for 300 years. And in the end, you want to marry her off to one of your own? Little girl, you just have to endure for 15 more days. After those 15 days, I will personally deliver a wedding gift so grand it will shake the heavens and the earth. He regained his composure. It's nothing. I only just arrived in the Chongshu domain. Your president and I are old acquaintances. After hearing what's happened, It's only natural that I'd be enraged. He paused, then turned to her. By the way, how are your medical skills? She puffed out her chest with confidence. Senior, this junior can't make any other promises. But when it comes to the medical arts, no matter how badly someone is injured, or how sick they are, this junior can bring them back from the brink of death. You're just the person I needed, right on time, he said. Then why don't you take a look? Yes, sir. Senior. His face was covered in sweat. This was the nurse. She began to check his pulse. Oh my God, this man's constitution. It's just incredible. She was astounded by his vitality. And to think, in this condition, he's still alive. He noticed she looked troubled. What is it? Can it be treated? Startled, she replied. There's a way. But, given your current condition, we can only try a procedure with a very low success rate just to stabilize you. He said calmly. The treatment you're talking about, it's acupuncture, isn't it? Her eyes widened in shock. Tell me, if you were to give it your all, to treat me, how many days would you need? She thought for a moment. At least 7 days. Without hesitation, he got straight to the point. Then let's begin. Start with my lower body. She began the treatment. He thought to himself, if I cooperate with her treatment, I should be fully healed in 4, maybe 5 days tops. I have to make the most of these next few days. I need to quickly break through from the 9th level of the Tongxian realm to the Shunting realm. That way, I can finally unlock my 3rd trump card. He thought of Xiao and I, who was living in torment. If Xiao and I was captured by the Tianqi Holy Land 300 years ago, then it's possible that in that prison, there might be other disciples of mine. And even if there aren't, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He gazed into the distance. 15 days is a tight schedule, but with so little time, I have to move fast. Still, if I go a little wild, it should be enough. After completing the initial treatment, she turned to him, a faint blush on her cheeks. Senior, you can, take off your robe now. Hearing this, he didn't miss a beat. Son. Seeing his swift action, she turned beet red and cried out. Senior, you don't have to take everything off. But by the time she finished, he was already completely undressed. But thankfully, it wasn't what she thought. It turned out the senior hadn't stripped completely bare. She was flustered. Senior, I'll begin now. The sky was a clear, cloudless blue. A gentle breeze was blowing. Oh, for goodness sake. 2 days later, outside the main hall of the Tianqi Holy Land, hiding behind a nearby boulder, he scanned the surroundings. After a moment of observation, he fell into thought. He recalled her words. The Tianqi Holy Land is strictly stratified. The outermost layer is for outer sect disciples, the second for inner sect disciples. The innermost core is where the Holy Lord, the other great emperors, and the half-emperor elders cultivate. She had even drawn a map in the dirt to show him President Bai's location. President Bai is being held under house arrest in the innermost sanctum. With a clear grasp of the situation, he gave her mission. Take this information to the Tai Bai, Sword Manor immediately. Then, we'll split up and proceed as planned. She replied eagerly. Yes, senior. He calmly approached the 2 guards. My meridians may have fully recovered, and my injuries are no longer a major issue. But based on the intel Luo Xian provided, this operation has to be about brains, not brawn. A direct assault is out of the question. Seeing a stranger approach, one of the guards shouted, Who are you? This is the Tianqi Holy Land. Without permission from our superiors, no one is allowed to enter. With a practiced smile, he presented a token. Easy there. We're on the same side. The 2 guards stared at the token and answered slowly. Oh, it's real. Seizing the opportunity, he shot out both hands. He grabbed each of the guards by the neck. Purple light and arcs of lightning flared up around him. The 2 guards collapsed to the ground, and he was nowhere to be seen. Illusions materialized around them. The 2 had been pulled into another dimension. They were utterly terrified. Where's this place? He descended from above. This is my domain. He cracked a familiar-looking whip a few times, and then asked, Now, I'll ask the questions, and you'll give me the answers. The guards were furious at his attitude. Who the hell do you think you are? Ordering us around? Do you have any idea who we are? We're from the Tianqi Sacred Land. With one flick, he lashed out with his whip, striking the guard straight across the face. Overwhelmed by pain, the man fell, clutching his face and writhing on the ground. The pain. It hurts like hell. He glanced at the other guard, who broke into a cold sweat as if he were staring death in the face. The guard immediately dropped to his knees, kowtowing and begging for mercy. Great master, sir, you just ask. Whatever you want to know. I'll tell you everything. He stated simply, tell me everything you know about your Tianqi Sacred Lands Emperor Transformation Pool. Don't leave out a single word. Without a moment's hesitation, the guard began his story. The Emperor Transformation Pool is almost as large as a lake. It's located in the core Disciples area. It's the most secure treasure in the Sacred Land. It's guarded by dedicated Saint King level experts, and they rotate shifts to inspect it every single day. At this point, he glanced up at him with an awkward smile. So, trying to get your hands on the treasures in the Emperor Transformation Pool is basically impossible. Hearing this, he scoffed. Is that so? Well, I'm afraid, just because others can't do it, doesn't mean I can't. Back at the Tianqi Sacred Land's main encampment, he used a transformation spell to take on the appearance of Elder Yin. The incident in the Mystic Forest realm just happened not too long ago. The two sacred lands are a whole heavenly region apart. Logically, news of the Tianqi half-emperor's death shouldn't have reached this place yet. His appearance gradually shifted into that of another person. If that's the case, I'll just borrow your identity for a while. A guard called out, Greetings, Elder Yin. He reached out and opened the gate. Right now, unless I run into a great emperor or half-emperor level figure, an ordinary person would never see through this transformation technique. As long as I can get through this gate without being caught by anyone in the core area, then I'm... As he was lost in thought, a voice called out from behind him. Elder Yin, how come you're back so soon? Did you have a good harvest? He froze, a bead of sweat rolling down his face as he slowly glanced over. He turned to look. Damn it. Just my luck. Whatever you fear most is exactly what you'll run into. The man behind him was someone from the Sacred Land. He grew extremely anxious. My goal is so close, it's within arm's reach. I can't give up at this critical moment and start all over. As for this Saint King expert, I can probably just bluff my way through. Without turning his face, he asked, It's so late. What are you doing here? The man replied with a wide grin. I've been saving up contribution points for 100 years. I finally exchanged them for a single day of cultivation in the Emperor Transformation Pool. I've waited so long for this day. It really wasn't easy. At the mention of the Emperor Transformation Pool, his expression turned grim. The Emperor Transformation Pool. This guy is about to go there? He answered nonchalantly. Not bad. Sensing something was off, the man grew suspicious. Elder Yin, today, you seem a little different. He tried to subtly dismiss the man. You should go cultivate in the Emperor Transformation Pool. I have other matters to attend to, so I'll be leaving first. Seeing this, he paid it no mind and took his leave. Yes, sir. We respectfully see you off, Elder Yin. He looked up, but the elder was already gone. Gasp. A half-emperor. Truly terrifying. His voice was filled with longing. When will I ever be that powerful? He had no idea that our protagonist had already left a trace of his aura on him as a tracking mark. Late at night, night fell, allowing the stars to finally shine in the sky. The man arrived before the gate to the Emperor Transformation Pond. Seeing someone appear, the two masked guards instinctively tensed. One of them spoke up. It's been 200 years. Someone's finally come to cultivate. He said nothing, simply presenting the invitation. The guard took it and inspected it. It's valid. He then performed a magical scan of the man's body. He's clear. A verification screen materialized. Yesterday, the gate opened automatically. He stepped inside, where a stream of crystal clear water rushed past. He was overcome with joy. Every single second in here is priceless. To waste even one is a crime. He stripped off his clothes and threw them to the ground. A jade stone. It fell from his robes. The crystal jade gradually dissolved into a wisp of smoke. And from within the smoke, Yi Bei appeared. I can't believe I have him to thank for this. Successfully tricked my way into the Emperor Transformation Pond. If I had relied on my own strength, I'm afraid I never would have made it through all those layers of security. Passing through the gate, he paused, replaying the events in his mind. Based on what those guards said, it seems very few people ever come to this Emperor Transformation Pond. As a thought occurred to him, his eyes widened. But now isn't the best time to make a move. He scanned the surrounding terrain. After all, this is a key protected area of the Heavenly Pool Holy Land. If anything unusual happens, I'm afraid it would immediately attract a half-emperor or maybe even a great emperor. One day later, a guard walked in and announced loudly, "Time's up. You need to leave now." Seeing the guard, the man replied, "I'm coming out right now." He began to put his clothes back on. Then he walked out. After the man left, the guards began their inspection of the Emperor transformation pond. Hidden beneath a small rockery, he could see the guards' feet as they patrolled the pond. He remained still, analyzing the situation, based on their daily patrol frequency. My next move must be flawless and guaranteed to succeed. Better safe than sorry. After a moment's thought, he transformed back into the jade stone. The jade drifted down into the current. A transparent aura spread out from it. He reappeared, streams of light swirling around him. A smile crossed his face. Just by cultivating in this spirit liquid, my progress is already several times faster than it was outside. And what's more, within this liquid, there's a mysterious power. It feels just like the power of the laws. Suddenly, he sensed something. Wait a second. The spiritual energy in this pond, is this dense? He changed back into the jade and drifted deeper. If that's the case, then there might be an even more incredible treasure at the bottom. I remember, back in the day, when I wasn't teaching my disciples, I was taking them to explore secret realms, searching for all kinds of destined opportunities. He recalled his students. In the end, every single one of them advanced by leaps and bounds. The innate Tao body, the 9 Yin Saint body, the profound Yin body, the Sword Spirit body, and so many more. As he remembered, a single tear escaped his eye. But ironically, very few of those opportunities were suitable for me. And even when they were, they could only elevate my state of mind, my soul, and my treasures. He thought of the incredible luck others had, his voice tinged with regret and envy. But as for an opportunity that could reverse the fate of this useless physique of mine, I never found one. But as he thought it all over, he still felt lucky. Good thing I got a second chance at life. A look of joy and anticipation for the future gleamed in his eyes. He was pulled along by the current. Finally, it's taking me down. He descended deeper and deeper. He could clearly feel the powerful pull of the current. His expression grew incredibly tense. This water pressure is insane. If I go outside now, I'd be instantly crushed into a meat patty. Meanwhile, in the Central District, at the sacred pool Holy Land, a young woman stared out a window, her eyes filled with despair. "Master, Lindy will be with you soon. Down there. Are you very lonely?" Her eyes, brimming with sorrow, overflowed as tears streamed down her cheeks. "I wanted to find a way to bring you back to life. But now, it seems I won't live to see that day." Even now, her thoughts were with her fellow disciples. "It's just, I can't help but worry about my junior sisters. If any of them get hurt, there will be no one left to heal them." The more she dwelled on it, the more the tears flowed. As a tear fell, she whispered, "Master, if only you were still here with me. How wonderful that would be." Back at the bottom of the pool, the glowing pearl passed through a crevice and fell to the very bottom of the riverbed. Seeing something, he suddenly stopped. He gasped in astonishment. "That's..." He rushed towards a massive rock. There, he saw the true treasure of the Emperor transformation pool. An ultimate treasure. So this is the real treasure of the pool. He burst out laughing. The sacred pool Holy Land has an ultimate treasure of this caliber. And yet, it's only produced 3 great emperors? What a complete waste. But then, another problem arose. I've found the ultimate treasure, but how am I supposed to get it into my desolate space? If I leave the space, the mere thought sent a shiver down his spine. He considered the situation, realizing it wasn't going to be easy. The moment I leave the desolate space, I'll be instantly crushed and apaced by the terrifying spiritual pressure. My divine soul probably wouldn't even survive. But a problem like this was no match for his mind. An idea sparked. He raised a finger, and purple lightning crackled around it. Lightning punishment. The lightning bolt slammed into the rocks. But they only cracked slightly. I knew it, just as I thought, because of this ultimate treasure's presence. The hardness of the surrounding rock has changed drastically. He began to calculate, his hand gathering a more powerful charge. I can only unleash 36 bolts of lightning a day. Given the situation, I need to use every single bolt like a blade. I can't afford to waste any. The powerful lightning enveloped the rock. The bolts began to hammer away at the stone. But all they did was chip off a few small fragments. It barely even made a dent. He calculated for a moment. to carve out the entire treasure. I'm afraid I'll need another 70 bolts. In other words, I'll have to wait at the bottom of this pool for at least 2 more days. He sat on a nearby stone and began to cultivate. A small, blue orb of energy appeared in his palm. He focused on cultivating his power. Whatever. The spiritual energy in this pool is many times denser than it is outside, anyway. It's a perfect opportunity to train. Because his body was at the very bottom of the pool, the patrols above couldn't detect any abnormalities. 2 days later, his tightly closed eyes snapped open. His cultivation session was complete. Excellent. My cultivation has reached the divine court realm. This rocket-like cultivation speed is the real deal. He stood before the treasure of the sacred pool Holy Land. If I had my current luck and talent before I was reborn, in 300 years, I would have annihilated the 9 great holy lands long before that. His power fully restored, he began to form a spell, and a magic array crackling with lightning appeared. And now, it's time for the master to put on a show. A single, powerful strike shattered the outer rocks, revealing a giant, sapphire blue crystal. It slammed down right in front of him. He smiled faintly at the sight. It seems after I took this supreme treasure, the only thing that changed was the terrifying spiritual energy at the bottom of the lake being forced to disappear. Everything else is exactly the same. He began the ritual to claim the stone. A vortex materialized before him. The current was pulled in, forming a massive whirlpool. The next day, the guards entered for their patrol and froze in shock. Utter shock. They screamed in a panic. The Huadiji, it's gone. One of them scrambled to hit the emergency alarm. The urgent warning siren blared. All throughout the immortal pool, sacred land. Everyone was startled by the alarm. The highest level alert. What in the world is going on? As far as I know, this is the first time this has happened since the immortal pool sacred land was founded. Someone quickly pieced it together. For this kind of alarm to go off, something catastrophic must have happened. The surrounding crowd was trembling with fear. Enough chatter. Everyone on your guard. Be ready to fight at a moment's notice. Hearing the commotion from her room, Linger was secretly thrilled. Yes, cause a scene. A huge one. Hopefully, it'll be so chaotic they'll have to cancel the wedding. In a desolate, empty space, Yibo stood admiring the stone. Good thing I broke through to the Shunting realm. If I only had the power of the Tonyuan realm, I probably couldn't have pulled this off. Now I have more than enough power. He smiled, his eyes gleaming with excitement. My cultivation has advanced. The supreme treasure is mine. Next, it's time to head to that place. But just as he was celebrating, a loud noise from the outside world broke his concentration. He looked up. The guards were formally saluting. We greet the sacred lord. We greet the grand elder. 2 tall, imposing men stood there, their faces grim. One of the guards stammered. Sacred lord. The Huadiji. Before the guard could finish, the sacred lord struck him with a devastating blow, killing him instantly. The 2 remaining guards were terrified beyond belief. But he wasn't finished. He grabbed another guard by the throat with one hand, lifting him effortlessly into the air. Tell me, how did this happen? Speak. Sacred. The grip was crushing, and the guard struggled to force out each word. Sacred Lord, please spare us. We swear we checked on it diligently every single day. There was nothing out of the ordinary. He turned his ferocious gaze to the other guard. Where are the access logs for the last few months? The guard quickly presented them, reporting to the sacred lord. They're here. He scanned through the records. The last time it was used was 3 days ago. The man beside him, the Grand Elder, spoke up. Sacred Lord, I will immediately mobilize our forces and search the entire city for clues. If not, sensing something, the Sacred Lord cut him off. Hold on. His eyes sharpened. The thief is still nearby. Hearing this, the 2 guards froze solid. What? A glowing jade stone materialized behind the guard's back.